All right. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for being here with me tonight. Thank you for the opportunity that you give me to make these live videos. First, I want to apologize. I wanted to start at 7, but for different things I got to do here, things that I was working on here in the house, I took a little longer than anticipated. So I was said, you know what, I'm gonna have to push it for another hour. Start at 8. But thank you for those who are watching this right now here on YouTube, and those who are taking the time to do it live. But if for some reason you can't, if you're watching this, the recorded version of this, of course, in the future, thank you for your support. Many people come and watch the video, and always appreciate that. Thank you for doing so. It really helps. And of course, I know, you know, the videos are pretty long, sometimes can last up to 3 hours or even more than 3 hours. Try not to go that far, but it's so much to talk about. There's so many collectibles, action figures, toys, but also models, die-casts, statues. It's definitely the hobby as a whole, as a collecting hobby. Anything that has to do with you know, fandom, it's very crowded right now. It's a crowded market, so there's a lot of cool things to talk about, and I love a lot of these things. There's a reason why I take my time talking about them. So, but I want to say thank you very much for those who are taking the time right now to watch. I appreciate it. Please don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment, let me know if you're watching, and also share this if you can on social media. Let everyone know, your friends know that we're doing this. If you know your friends are into this kind of stuff, I appreciate it. Groups, all of that, appreciate it too. Anything you can do to help, and most importantly, of course, is to leave a like and to leave a comment. That really helps the algorithm of YouTube to realize that people care about this content and they want to watch it. It pushes out that content. But in any case, thank you. And again, here in the description you'll find my pretty much all my social media links. So if you want to follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, you can go there. Also to support through Patreon, or you can do it through the super chat. Anything you can do to help, it's highly appreciated. Now, as you can see in the background right there, still a little clear, no statues. I'm still in the process of bringing stuff. I'm almost there. I think I'm still have a couple more weeks to start bringing a lot of stuff. Now all I have in storage is technically my collectibles. A lot of my statues and action figure. I already brought a lot of stuff, but on my statues, everything is in still. I have books still there, but it'll be completely covered. I think by next week you'll be able to see some statues. I think that the channel will be able to go back to normality. I'm gonna be able to come back, I would say sometime this month in April. I think by May we'll be completely functional, back again to the horse, doing everything, a lot more, you know, constant videos, not only the live videos. So we get in there. There's a lot of, it's a work in progress. I'm still doing a lot of work here in the house, doing a lot of things, a lot of, you know, a couple things. I think this is be the last week that I do something for my wife, to put in some furniture for her together, and I'll be done with that. And we'll see what happens next after that. What else needs to be done? But thank you for your support. Thank you for watching the video. Now, to give you an idea what we're gonna cover today, just on my list of things, we're gonna talk about, I'm gonna start talking about models. Really, I want to talk about Hiya toys. Now they're getting into the model market for Star Trek, and I want to look at an Enterprise, USS Enterprise NCC 1701 that they just released. It looks pretty cool. I want to look at it with you. Also, we're gonna look at Robosen, the Bumblebee flagship model robot that it's, of course, has been Optimus. People love Optimus and Megatron. Now we have Bumblebee on the flagship line, which is the main line, or the most expensive line. We're gonna look at it today. On the action figure work, I want to look at Big Bad Toy Store. They have their own brand, their own company that produces action figures. They have a 112 the Tick figure. I want to look at it today. By the way, Big Bad Toy Store is celebrating the 25th anniversary, which is great. You know, 25 years as a company, amazing. Jada Toys, we're going to look at Jada. InArt Collectibles, we're going to look at it today. They're getting into the 112 market with the Dark Knight figure. There was a lot of videos on my feed this week. We're going to look at this figure since a lot of people are excited for what InArt is doing right now. We're gonna look at Mondo. They are right now showcasing a lot of stuff at WonderCon. Amazing stuff that is coming, really. But we're gonna look at the stuff that actually is on sale. The stuff that came out on sale this week. On the statue side, I want to look at Pure Arts. Pure Arts is now actually selling the same statues that they produce as a quarter scale. Amazing statues for Assassin's Creed. Now they're selling it as a 1/8 PVC statue. So that's an option for those who cannot afford the quarter scale. Now you have an option that is more affordable for you. We're going to look at the pre-orders from Iron Studios. Of course, it was the last week of this month. So that means that Iron Studios released a lot of stuff, showcased a lot of stuff. We're going to look at the pre-orders today. I also want to cover a little bit of Gentle Giant Diamond Select Toys. Although the company, of course, went bankrupt and restructured themselves, and they're in that process. They're still releasing some stuff. We're going to look at some of the pre-orders. They're still there. They're still kicking it. So we're going to look at the stuff they have to offer. I want to look very briefly also to Oniri Creations. Oniri, of course, I have the interview with the owner of the company recently. Hello, Cypher. How are you, my friend? Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for saying hello. We're going to look at Oniri. I want to look at this stuff. You know, it seems that they're coming out of the ashes, and a lot of the stuff that was already on pre-order, it's now coming out, and they're actually releasing this stuff and shipping this stuff. So we're going to look at some of that information that is provided. And some of those stuff that is now is available also for purchase. So we're going to look at it today. I want to look at Weta Workshop. They're still producing stuff. We're going to look at the Boromir 1/6 scale statue that was released this week for sale. I want to look at Toei Animation. Toei also producing statues for, there's an Ultra Instinct Goku statue 1/6 scale. It's a spec fiction. We're going to look at it today. I want to look at Jimei Palacework. I love what Jimei does, and they have the Capricorn Shura. If you're a Knights of the Zodiac, you are Sensei a fan. That looks really nice. We're going to look at it. There's different versions of it. We're going to look at Prime1 Studio. Evangelion fans, there's one of the fourth angel. Finally, it was showcased just recently. We're going to look at it today. Have you seen the LBS 1/3 Joker and Harley reveal now? They look fantastic. Yeah, I saw it, and I did see it. It looks really nice. I saw it, and I think I cover it on my... and some of it, when I talk on one video, we're talking about my favorite things that were revealed last year, and that's one of them that I think was a great reveal. So we're gonna look at it when it, I think it's not on pre-order yet, but when it goes on pre-order, we're gonna look at it today. We're gonna look at that moment. Also, we're gonna talk about Optimus Prime, the weapon depot. That depot was highly anticipated, but it's super expensive, over $20,000. We're gonna look at it, we're gonna compare it, we're gonna say what, you know, we're gonna share my opinion on it. Also, PCS Collectibles, they have a 1/3 scale Emperor Palpatine that went on pre-order this weekend. Looking good, so we're gonna look at it, and we're gonna also look at Hasbro. They do have a Doctor Doom life-size helmet. So right now, of course, the Fantastic Four are coming, so there is want to be a lot of Doctor Doom's collectibles this year. So we're gonna look at it today. So yeah, we have a very interesting night to cover, and I want to appreciate Cypher. Thank you for stopping by. And yeah, we're gonna look at LBS, definitely company a little quiet right now, starting the year, but I think they're gonna really push it really hard throughout the year, and we're anticipating LBS to really do amazing stuff. Legendary Beast Studios. All right, my friends. So we are moving. And let me take you to the stuff that we're gonna cover today. Let me get there. So first thing we're gonna look. Let's go to a Big Bad Toy Store. We're gonna use. I always use Big Bad Toy for reference. They have a lot of stuff here. We're gonna cover a lot of stuff here today. But I want to look at this right here. As you can see, this Star Trek, the 2009 REPLICAart series USS Enterprise NCC 1701. This is a previous exclusive. It's a light up starship. It's $150. It's not major. It's not super big. It's not the die-cast model that you can get from Toei, which is super large. But 15 inches, it's a pretty nice size. And the difference here, of course, is cheaper, more affordable. This model, this is something that Hiya Toys, you know, they've been doing a lot of Godzilla models and action figures, which look amazing for photography. But now also, I think they want to get into this realm where they're gonna start doing more models, and I think that is a great option. As you can see, it's a previous exclusive, and this REPLICAart, this is the first in the series that they're going to release. The only thing I would say, this is not die cast. This is all made out of plastic, It's based again on the 2009 Star Trek film. It's first in the new REPLICAart series by Hiya Toys. It does have light-up features, which is great, and it does have a display stand. Now, when we look at the pictures here, as you can see, of course, these are just, you know, Photoshop pictures. I'm really interested in this. You know, Hiya Toys is definitely kind of killing it with the stuff, and they're doing really amazing stuff, you know, with some of their figures. Of course, with their, I like their Godzilla figures are really well done, priced well. So this model, a 15 inches, pretty nice model. It's not super big, so it's not going to be like super large, but it's going to be a line where they're going to release a lot of these models. Now, of course, I would love for it to be diecast, but then it would be a little more expensive. But diecast would have been a lot better thing. But it is made out of plastic. The quality we still have to see. But I will tell you, the plastic they use for the Godzilla figures is really well done. It's good material. So I'm assuming that they're gonna use something similar here. So definitely there's a lot to expect from this. The light-ups look good, and I don't know the stand. We have to wait and see how this model is going to play out. But that is an option for model fans and aficionados. If you and at that size, you know, if this does well and if it's a good piece, it's a good model, then I think that the opportunity, the door is open for them to produce for, you know, a whole collection of these models. And we'll see, you know, from all the history of Star Trek, there's so many models to do. Hey, Knight, how you doing, my friend? Thanks for stopping by. So I think the opportunity is there for Hiya Toys to do something amazing. So, but we have to wait and see. I think the price is fair for a model this size. A 15 inches, still a good price, and with the light-up features. But we'll see. You know, there's been other models before from other companies. We'll see how Hiya really approaches this as they have done with Godzilla, and hopefully it's going to be a banger right there for everyone. So yeah, that is something that definitely we need to keep an eye on. All right, so the next thing I want to show you, now moving on, I want to look at this Robosen, and we're going to probably go to the website. This Transformers flagship series Bumblebee G1 auto converting robot. This week I've seen so many videos on my feed, people who I follow, who are even statue collectors. They were producing in different countries. They were doing some, you know, they got some models that were sent to them just for review, and they definitely look amazing. I will tell you this, it's nice, and here you can see Big Bad Toys available here for sale. There is a discount. Normally it's like $1,300 for a limited time. Depending on the time period that you pre-order, you can save $350 on your pre-order with the earlier bird special pricing. And this is across the board. You can find it anywhere. You can also go to we can go to Hasbro Pulse. You can also order through Hasbro. That's another option. Here you can see, I think it was there. Let me see. Right there, you can order here directly from Hasbro Pulse. It's another option. They have $950. You will have to pay for shipping. Same thing, it has a discount. There's an offer there for now. As we were looking at, here's $950. Same price. You're gonna find it either way, or you can certainly go to robosen.com. Let's see where we see it here. Here you can go to the website. Also, they have a video there. You know, I saw the video from Robosen. I think it's a really nice model, and it looks great. Of course, you know, the things that you can do. Let's see, we can watch the video right there. I'm turning that off so I don't get penalized because of the sound. When we're looking at the video, of course, they have the license for the Bumblebee, the, you know, Volkswagen Bumblebee, and it looks amazing. Light-up feature, great. It's very well done. People complain about a couple of things. Of course, the feet sticking out at the bottom. Some people complain that it's not completely accurate to the cartoon and all that, but I think they did a fantastic job in the whole conversion for this model. It looks great. Yeah, you can see the lines, you can see the feet at the bottom, but I don't think it's bad. Of course, she has, I don't know how many commands. It's hundreds of commands that you can do. The dimensions are pretty neat. Yeah, you can see the bottom, the legs. It's not necessarily the biggest. Of course, you know, Bumblebee is not the biggest Transformer, the biggest Autobot. But as you can see in this video, it's neat. And all the robotic parts that they're using, electronics, of course. It's a high-end robot for sure. My only concern, and I'm gonna tell you this, as much as I like it, look at these other models that have been done before. I still find the price very, very steep. I find it super expensive, even with the discount. You know, and of course, this is the flagship. They already have the previous model. They had a cheaper model before than this, which is the smaller version of it. But now they went into the high-end, you know, the more expensive one. It's a great, but you know, it's a great figure with all the things that you can do and program. You know, you can use the app. You got 200 official original audio tracks, 48 voice commands. So you can do so many great things with it. You know, you can actually, and you can make, of course, different, you know, sets of things, you know, with commands. So he can do certain things and you can program it the way you want it. I just find it, again, for $1,000 for a night, it's a nice robot, but $1,000, I'm not necessarily sure that that is a price that I would like to pay. I don't think it's, you know, even though the others, you know, even he looks big, you know, like he's a lot larger than what he should be when you compare it to the others. He's not as tall as, of course, as Optimus, but I found it to be still big size-wise, you know, because, you know, he was very short. But here you can see the things that you can do, the program. You know, it's cool. You know, it's one of those things, but I personally would think that the price of this at the most would be $700. But to be honest with you, this would be $900, not $900, $500. That, in my opinion, should be the price for this figure. Yeah, Optimus is the best. I'm not sure. You know, of course, there's always going to be the completionists, the ones that want to have it all. They did a nice job in the auto mode. It definitely looks like a Volkswagen Beetle. Nice packaging, as you can see. I don't know. You have to be really hardcore to really get into it, to be honest with you. And of course, this is the video here. This is the video that you can watch there. And the website, you can pre-order directly from them and all that. Look at the pictures. Maybe you can see them there. Very nice. I like it. I definitely like the car mode. I like the Volkswagen. I remember learning to drive with a Volkswagen Beetle, and it's good. But yeah, I think, as you can see, it's a nice size. But when you compare right next to, of course, look at that, the size right there. You saw right next to Grimlock. Grimlock is so undersized, you know, so it's keys over, you know, the scale is all over the place with these robots. As much as they're cool, I find them that they're all over the place. Again, here you can come to Pulse. Here are the dimensions. It comes in a nice packaging. Has the weapon, you know, things that you can do there. Very cool. Also has like a coin, you know, collectible coin, which is great. And here you can see the programs that, you know, again, it looks cool. I like the portrait they use here on this model. Very nice. Again, I'm just not completely sure that it deserves to be that expensive. But yeah, a lot of people are excited. I've seen a lot of people excited for it. A lot of people complain about the price, of course. And you can, again, come here, or you can come to Big Bad Toy Store, whatever it is. I think Big Bad Toy, you know, you get that flat rate to $4 that they offer always is great, in my opinion. So yeah, it's a lot of cool things that come with it. Again, it comes with Bumblebee auto converter robot. It comes with the blaster. You get the coin. You get instructions. You also get a USB-C cable. And I think I saw that it comes with a block, a charger. Maybe you can see it here. Well, those are the specs, and the gallery already saw that. But if we come here to... No, it doesn't say here. But, you know, that gives you an idea. Definitely of what comes with it. It's not, you know, yeah, it's just one of the ones that definitely, it looks cool. It's gonna look cool on display, but and be able to play with it and do a couple of things. But other than that, again, I found it very expensive, and unnecessarily so, in my opinion. You know, I think that Yeah, I'm looking at different angles. You know, I stick with just my, you know, like, you know, one of the masterpiece. You know, just get it with the, you know, basic masterpiece. You'll be more than well served. Here it comes, okay, the charger, and also at the charger block. All these things are additions, which is nice. You know, sometimes they don't even give you that. Some places don't even give you the cable. At least you get some things where you can charge it, or you can just connect it to your computer to do the programming. So in any case, I think it's a nice piece. Again, it's a nice figure. I just found it to be expensive, and I don't think it deserves that. I think at $700 would have been a much better deal, and I think more people would be excited for it. But overall, this whole collection has been expensive. As much as it's cool, it's gimmicky, it has all the things, the robot things that you can do, and you know, you can sell it as the greatest thing ever as a robot. It still is a toy. In so many ways, placed as a toy, as a robot that has commands. I haven't seen cheaper robots that do a lot of those commands that you can use apps for a lot less. You know, there's a lot of them. So I think it's just using, of course, nostalgia, you know, fear of missing out, FOMO, in order to get these things out. I don't think the price is warranted. But again, if you can afford it, if you really want it in your collection, if you already got the others and you want to add it, then by all means, more power to you. Still a cool thing to have. I just don't think that at this price point, with that $1,000, I can find better things, you know, better collectibles. I can spend that money into a nice, huge statue that has more things, in my opinion, that looks better. Even a better statue of Bumblebee, or even a couple of masterpieces, and I'll be more than well served. So yeah, that's just my opinion. Of course, you know, you could take it for what it is, just an opinion. But yeah, that's what I want to share with you today. Now, okay, we continue on. And we are here still. We're gonna move now into action figures. I want to look at this one. This is the Tick Long Box Heroes Prestige, the Tick 112 scale action figure. This is from Big Bad Workshop, which is the company, their own Big Bad Toy Store brand of toys. Because when you look at here and you look at the stuff they produce, they have a lot of action figures, a lot of body, you know, the bucks that you use to do customization and all that, which is great. A lot of those things, you know, they have done a lot of different things. Operation Monster Force, all these things are technically their own creation, own license. It's something that they created for people to kind of create, come up with ideas, you know, to customize, to do your own display, you know, to, you know, whatever you want to do. And this is what they have done, which is great in my opinion. Operation Monster Force, all these things are their own ideas, their own IP, is its own IP from Big Bad Toy Store. But nothing is like official. Also, you get like, you can see head packs and you can do all that. They have done all that, which is cool. Now, the Tick technically has become officially their first, you can see here now, their first licensed product that Big Bad Toys, their toy company, is now producing. This is based, of course, on the comic book. The Tick, of course, the Tick. In the 80s, this character were introduced in the comics, you know, technically just you know, to kind of make fun of the superhero genre. But of course, the Tick became so popular, it even has, you know, video game, have the also animated cartoon, all that stuff that they have done with the Tick, the TV show, all of that. So it's kind of cool. It's $39. I think it's a bit pricey, $40. Of course, you know, you're talking about now it has, you know, the license is a 112, made out of plastic. Of course, this is right there. Yes, over 20 points of articulation. Is highly detailed, although, you know, I would say the detail in the Tick is almost non-existent. So not necessarily detailed per se. Comes with 2 alternate head sculpts, an alternate pair of hands, a necktie, and a crime finder. So when we look at the pictures, it looks cool as a figure. Of course, you know, I would say that the articulation is pretty visible, not necessarily. Yeah, it's okay, not super hidden, but you know, it's fine. I think it lacks a little bit of. I would have loved for that to have more of a texture, perhaps. But they're going more for the comic accuracy there. And look at this right there. And it's fine. I think definitely we need more action figures for the Tick. We need more, you know, products for the Tick. And as you can see, the switch out portraits, actually there are 3. Which is interesting. You get the necktie. You also have the hand, so cool. So yeah, this is not bad. I think it's a good idea. It's kind of cool when you see companies doing, you know, in this case, you know, getting a Big Bad Workshop, you know, Big Bad Toy, they have carrying their own license. Hopefully, they can produce more figures also on the TIG universe, but also in other universes. It will be nice. You know, it's amazing that Big Bad has been doing business for a long time. You know, I still remember maybe the people like me that have been collecting action figures and stuff, you know, collectibles for years. You remember, I think back in the day, the only two companies that I used to buy. You know, you can buy stuff on eBay back in the day when eBay was still, you know, completely different than what it is now. But the companies that I personally always enjoy, of course, was Big Bad Toy Store and Urban Collector. Urban Collector was probably another company that I care about. Unfortunately, no longer existent. But in any case, those are the two companies that I used to purchase. And it's amazing to see that time flies. And, you know, right now, up to 25 years, they're still kicking it. And they do have a lot of products that they carry, of course. So yeah, this is kind of cool. If you're into the tick, definitely look at it. It is very, very cool. Now, another 1/12 product that I want to showcase today is this one right here. From all the stuff that I showcase, you know, of course, I pick the things that I care the most. And we have this from Jada Toys. We got the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes Tony the Tiger 1/12 scale action figure. This was showcased last year at San Diego Comic-Con. It was a highlight in my opinion. $30, which I think is a better price than what the tick is, which is great. And I think that's how they should have priced the tick anyway. But, you know, we've been anticipating this figure. And I'm telling you, they're killing it. Jada's killing it with the action figure. They're killing it with the Street Fighter stuff. They're killing it with, you know, other things that they're producing. You know, it's amazing what they're doing. But here, you know, comes with the bowl of Frosted Flakes, the spoon, you know, the figure. You also get the cardboard box of Frosted Flakes, which is cool. And I like this idea, man. I'm telling you, it's a great idea. And I like how pulsable it is. Definitely has more color, more detail than the tick that we just saw. And definitely you can come up with some really nice poses. These are nice figures, and I like how the posable look it seems. It comes even with a basketball. You know, that's great. Yeah, you can do effects with the basketball too. Look at that. I would tell you, Jada Toys it's so fun to watch Jada Toys this year. It's been fun with the Street Fighter stuff they're producing, with everything they're doing, with the Scooby-Doo stuff that they're producing. I think Jada has such a great potential. But this is definitely one of the cool things that they did today. And I will tell you this, and also another thing that I noticed, and now kind of going into other things, you know, I'll tell you that the new pre-orders that they have, we have took a few of them. Also, we have the Street Fighter on the Ultra Street Fighter stuff they're doing. I saw a review in this case of the Sagat. This Sagat looks amazing. I saw a review this week, and I'm telling you, it looks fantastic. It was compared right there to the Soda toy, which is also fantastic. So old, but still great. Of course, I think this surpasses that. Of course, it's not comparable. I would to the, you know, the Storm Collectibles. I think that's probably one of the best figures produced by Storm Collectibles. But this Sagat is up there in my opinion. Looks really neat. It's pretty large, huge, and if you know, and of course the price, which is another aspect of it, is probably the largest I have produced so far. But they did such a nice job with this figure. You're already collecting Soda. You have Soda. You want to actually match her and things. You're missing some characters. I know the Sagat is really expensive to come by from the Soda toy line. Hey, you can actually add this one instead. If you're building that collection still, if you never finish it, you can actually do Jada. And of course, you know, Storm Collectibles, the Storm Arena, where there's the cheaper version that is coming soon. So there's a lot of right now in the market for the 6-inch figures. The 1/12, there's a big market because, you know, the Storm Collectibles, at least the first brand or the first line that they did, it's actually 7 inches, so it's a lot larger in comparison. So I would say go for this one. So, and of course, the packaging looks amazing. I love the packaging that Jada does. So that's for Sagat. But also you can look here at this Blanca, which looks amazing in my opinion. $34.99, I think it's a great price. And this Blanca looks amazing. I in my opinion. You know, the Storm Collectibles looks great, but of course that you pay a premium for that one. But if you're looking for something more affordable that also has nice display options and it looks really neat, then I would say this one also is up there. They has the switch up portraits. Of course, he has the hands and the effect, which is cool. I think that's more than enough, so it's great. But I will tell you one other thing, that if you come to Jada Toys, when we come to Jada Toys, I will show you right now, because of course they're WonderCon, they have a very special Fei Long. This is an Ultra Street Fighter 2 Fei Long. This is $40 if you order here, but this is a special color version, player 2. I think it looks fantastic. Again, 6 inches, it kind of fits with the line. This one is only right now available at the Jada website. I've seen a lot of people excited for it. It's a really nice figure. Very well done from Jada. This is probably one of the best figures that they have produced. They have produced so many great figures. And again, the packaging looks top notch. I love that they do this packaging. I think that is just really fascinating the way they do it. And it comes actually with a sleeve, so you can actually, that which is also amazing. A very nice figure. Again, this is a WonderCon exclusive, only available at this at the Jada Toys website. So very cool. Again, Jada is doing really fantastic stuff, and kudos to them for doing amazing work for sure. Now let me move, and we're gonna move to another company that, in my opinion, it's doing amazing, and it's getting a lot of people excited. And for that, actually, I'm gonna take you. Let me take you to a Spec Fiction. We're gonna use that for reference, but I saw this week also a lot of reviewers, action figure reviewers, we're getting InArt figures, because InArt is now getting into the 112 market. They've been doing the 1/6 market. I think there's, the 1/6 market is tough, because you got Hot Toys. Hot Toys already doing it, and they're competing, so they're doing some things that are, interesting. So it's not necessarily a market of that you can actually get in so easily, although InArt has done it. But of course, Hot Toys has such much control there. But there's always a need for like high-end action figures, and I think on the 112, a lot of the 112 are mainly like toy-like figures. When you're talking about the articulation, all that is very toy-like, and there's not that many that really kind of like, if you want to have like a 1/6, like you want to have the same quality of a 1/6 that looks very realistic for toy photography. Some people have tried to go into the route where they prefer, for example, Mezco. Mezco was doing that a lot of stuff, but Mezco has been kind of slow, and they're doing more like Marvel comic stuff and some DC stuff. But now the options to produce figures that look so realistic, they're miniature sizes of the 1/6. I think there's not that many companies doing stuff. InArt is really getting there. There's some companies that they're doing stuff, but I think InArt has the potential to do it there. So they're starting with this, their Dark Knight, the 2012 film, The Dark Knight Rises. And they do have this too. They have a deluxe version, a standard version. And I saw the reviews. I think the price is fantastic. It looks amazing, has great detail. The standard is $75, as you can see. And here on InArt, there's other places. I think Big Bad Toys has it. You can go also in Quinn Studios. And it does. And the only thing that I would not like so much is that even though they're 112, they look a bit tinier in comparison even to next to Marvel Legends. They're technically at the size of a Marvel Legends. And some Marvel Legends are too big. Some other 112 figures are a little larger in scale. So it's a bit under scale, in my opinion, when I look at some of the videos. Maybe we can go there and I'll show you some videos of some YouTubers. But the accessories on this, it has a regular cape. So people point out that unfortunately it doesn't have like a wire. People would love to have a wire in it, so that way you can pose the cape. You come with a lot of hands. You have a lot of different weapons. You have you can change on this one the face, in this case the mouth, in different forms. But the figure looks great, and it's just 112, and it looks like of course, you really pay attention, you're gonna see the articulation. but it looks so well done. It looks almost as you're looking at a Hot Toys or an NR16 scale figure. It's just a miniature scale of something that looks great. And of course, right now, even companies are producing a lot of smaller scale vehicles 112, which is great too, because you have companies have produced like the mini scale 112 diecast model of the Batmobile, things like that. So now you're able, if you have that, to get in our figures, you can use that for reference. But yeah, look at this one. It's very poseable. Of course, there's some limitations on the pose because of the outfit, but it looks so good as a 112 figure. And the portrait on the figure looks amazing. These are great pictures, by the way. They took nice pictures to promote this. Very nicely done. Very nice photos. Very nice portrait. Very cool photo. Actually, this is from the poster of the film. Wow. They did a really nice job. This is a really nice figure. And a lot of people are saying that this is perhaps a game changer for the 112 scale. That we're going to see more of this. And something that I mentioned before, I think companies need to adapt in this new market with the prices of things going skyrocketing. The trade wars that we're facing between China, the production of things. I think companies, they are using alternatives where they're moving into different scales. And I think reducing scales is important. I think you oversize everything also means that you increase the price tag. And when you underscale, you also reduce the price. And you can still sell a product that people are interested on. People adapt, collectors are adaptable. That's, we have learned to be adaptable over time. So this is an option. For people that, they're running out of space. They still love to add things to their collection. They want to create things and they want to display things. So this is a great option. So this is the standard $75. You can get it here. It's going to release on the, pretty much sometime this year, between the second quarter and the fourth quarter. So it's going to be this year. Now, the one that I personally would go for, and it's just $90, which I think is great. It's only like, what? It went up like $15 more, and the $15 are well used because what this deluxe version has is an interchangeable portrait, unmasked portrait, and the portrait, it's amazing in my opinion. This is the same pictures that we saw. Yeah, it seems like everything is the same. The difference here is the portrait. This is what makes the difference. $15 for a very nice 112 portrait. It's insane. Again, everything is the same, but that portrait, that to me, like, that figure looks amazing. Just by that, it's a selling point for me. Scale wise, of course, again, not the largest, but very, very well done. This is very, very well done. Now let me take you here. Well, let's go to YouTube. We're gonna see the video InArt Batman 112, just to give you an idea. Look at all these videos, all these people reviewing this, and all these action figure reviewers. Some of them, of course, have big action figure channels, and a lot of them, they got this model. You can actually check it out. That's the packaging, which is very nice, neat packaging. Comes with a display stand, everything. The extra hands. And even the display looks amazing. I'm telling you, InArt is really killing it on the 112 market. I think they're gonna do amazing stuff. This guy does a lot of photography. Nostalgia Unbox. And yeah, this is one. Look at that. He likes a lot of those things. That's pretty cool, man. I'm telling you, that's cool. You can do so many things. So 112, you can compare it to so many things. Of course, it's a perfect no, but I think the options are there. Yeah, I'm just kind of going quick on this, but believe me, there's so many things that are so great about this, and you can see all these reviewers. We technically received this. This one, for example, also Justin Collection is another action figure reviewer. He does a lot of Hot Toy stuff. He's based in Asia, and I think Hong Kong. So, man, look at all the details, the weapons, everything is done in this figure. Excellent. I'm telling you, this is, in my opinion, but you know, when you compare it to other figures, look at that, you know, how it's not necessarily the biggest. He's making comparison to some figures. Carrot right there to a Mesco. That's the Mesco Punisher. John Bernthal. Little under scale. Oh, maybe the height is appropriate. But here you can see other figures. So this is the thing about the 112, you know, it's always been all over. I think this is, I'm not sure which one is this. Maybe McFarlane. The McFarlane unit is 7 inches, so it's a little larger. So options are there. I think this is a great figure overall. And here you can see how many videos are out there. Look at this one. You know, there's a lot of videos that I'm telling you, people who are following, you can actually check those videos. I'll recommend it to you. InArt is doing really amazing stuff. They have done other figures, but I think InArt, it's definitely it's Queen Studios. You have to pay attention to what Queen Studios is doing. I think as a company, they're killing it. They're doing such amazing stuff. The options that they're providing, the portrait they're doing this. Definitely, there is a lot to be said about what this company is ready to do and what they are already doing. We know Queen Studios, of course. We know it's statue collectors. We know what they're capable of and the statues they have produced. I'm telling you, these action figures look amazing. All right, so now let's move. I want to move now, and you know, kudos to them for what they did. I want to take you to Mondo. Now, Mondo's been busy too. WonderCon, of course, we saw the stuff that WonderCon we have seen. There's a couple of stuff that they're showcasing, and we're gonna look at those things when the time comes. For Master of the Universe, also they're going into the 112, talking about the same thing about companies understanding their market, but they're also going into other things. And here you can see some of the figures. Some of these are WonderCon exclusives. We're gonna look at it today. But before I get into those WonderCon exclusives, I want to look at this vinyl. It's another thing that I've been mentioning. Lately, it's a lot of companies doing vinyl stuff. It's something that is happening. It's something that is so marked right now. Let me see if I see anything. Companies are doing a lot of this vinyl stuff. Even McFarlane is getting into the more vinyl, huge, like large, kind of bombastic looking figures, you know, and it's kind of interesting concept. I think it's a fad that is going to go away, but it seems like a lot of people are excited for it. Well, you know, Mondo's one of the leaders there doing a lot of this figures. They have done a lot of, you know, we have talked about this match, you know, the stuff that they had for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but now they have this Doctor Doom soft vinyl figure, $175. I find it a bit overpriced, but hey, why not? If you're into this kind of thing, the artists are Aaron Conley, Hilary Arce, and Tommy Hodges. And here, let's look at the picture just to give you a reference. I will tell you, I kind of like it though. This is a nice pose for Doctor Doom, a very classic Doctor Doom. The paint job looks really neat. It does have interchangeable hands. It does. You can actually, the only rotation there is on the hands. And the head a bit. Has his weapon, his gun, and also this you know, skull that he can carry with his hands. Look at this one, a 360, so you can look at it. Some people seem to like this concept. Not necessarily my favorite thing, although this Doctor Doom, from all the things they have produced, really looks nice. I like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's kind of, I like them. But this Doctor Doom looks really neat, and I definitely like the Juggernaut, which is amazing. And I think this is going to be a great companion right next to the Juggernaut. 10 inches tall. Even at that side, it looks really impressive. It looks even bigger than what it actually is because of the bulkiness of it. And I like this one. I think this is my favorite pose here. But very nice detail, although I also see the paint job is nice. So, you know, of course, this is a prototype. Hopefully you can get, this is actually is going to be reflected on the final product as well. That would be great to see. Very nice detail holding that skull right there. It looks like more like you're looking at Scorpio from Mortal Kombat. You know, like he's holding that thing. Yeah. And of course, right there with his gun. Very cool concept. Nice green. Nice choice. Nice shading in the arms and in the clothes. Very nicely done. It's a very nice vinyl, actually. If I have to choose a vinyl, maybe this Doctor Doom can be an option. Nice detail. But yeah, this is something that definitely is worth checking out if you're into vinyl stuff. Definitely that is an option there. But you can see we have talked about all the vinyl stuff that they have produced before. But yeah, they went a little higher on the price tag on this one. $25 more expensive than the previous releases. So maybe they're banking on the, of course, on the right now Doctor Doom, the Fantastic Four, the MCU, of course, the popularity. So maybe, but when you start pushing the price and you start going up, and it's just vinyl at the end of the day, it's vinyl, it's just plastic, it's soft. So you know, it is what it is. But going back into what Mondo is doing, of course, we talk about WonderCon, and WonderCon is the thing that they've been releasing a lot of different things, and a lot of things that have been showcased again from Masters of the Universe. The 112, it's all the things that they showcased there for the 1/6 scale. They still continue with they also announced that they're gonna do the Superman. Let's see actually, there's some of it just to give you an idea of what they're doing at WonderCon. Mondo. Here on Facebook, maybe we can see some of the reveals. Like I saw this video, I saw the video of the reveals of the stuff that they're doing, and they have stuff for you know, still for the Marvel stuff, 1/6 scale figure stuff. Nightcrawler is coming with the Dr. Sinister. Also, they're doing stuff for the 112 Master of the Universe. They are showcasing stuff, which is amazing. Men at Arms on the 112. So there's a lot of things that they are really bringing for the 112 Master Universe. Also announced the Superman. Actually, the new Shura, which looks amazing, 1/6 scale figure. And also they showcase Swiftwind, and they showcase that in the play. So you can actually go to Mondo, you can go to their Instagram and look at this video. It really gives you an idea of what they're actually doing. Swiftwind looks amazing, and that is the new Shura they're producing. I think the Shura is probably superior to the previous one they have. It's gonna be a little more, I think, more accurate to the cartoon, more cartoon accurate, which is great. So yeah, they still doing stuff for Spider-Man, for the X-Men, for the you know, for the Thundercats. You know, Carnage is coming, Mr. Sinister is coming. So man, I'm telling you, there's a lot of good things that they're coming, and it's cool to see these things. They keep announcing stuff, which is amazing. Here you can see. But if I take you now, we go back to the figures or the stuff that was released. They got this, the Goddess, and this is the one we just saw now. Completely sold out at the website. This was a WonderCon exclusive. I'm telling you, this is gonna be hard to come by. It's a version. It's a Tila. It's a repaint with different things and add-ons. Was sold out completely. The only place to find it, maybe if you go to WonderCon right now, maybe you can still find that. I think they're still open tomorrow, so you might be able to get one. But it's a repaint. I think it looks fantastic. And of course, it comes with all the extra accessories, the extra portraits. This is one that's definitely going to be sold. The only place to find it would be on eBay for really high prices. You know, unfortunately, there's a lot of those, you know, resellers taking the opportunity to do this. Really nice. And it's kind of cool. They still continue with the Masters of the Universe line, as they have done. 11.5 inches tall. Nice repaint. Very evil. And again, here you can see the pictures. Very nice detail. Very nice figure for sure. I like the portrait, even the evil portrait. Very nice pictures as always. The photography they use here, Mondo, always it's inspiring. That He-Man is definitely fantastic. It looks great, and again, this is based on the mini comics. This was in the mini comics show. In the cartoon, in the mini comics, you see that it's really nice. I think the first mini comic. Very nice with all the details with all the other characters. To be honest with you, in my opinion, they should reissue Man-at-Arms. But man, this collection has been fantastic. There's 63 pictures. Beastman looks huge, man. This collection is impressive. And of course, you had Shura. The new Shura, I don't know. The new Shura looks nice. I think this Shura too is great. I think this Evil Lyn, Eli, you know, they have done really amazing work with all these figures with this collection. Very nice detail. Very cool. Impressive. I'm looking at 63 pictures, but I like it that they always give you a lot of pictures. Mondo really does nice on that. And nice detail, different angles. Very nice way to actually represent something different from different angles. It saves also pictures. All right, so it's sold out. Unfortunately, again, the only place to go would be to go to, in this case, eBay. Unfortunately, that's how it rolls. That's how the cookie crumbles. And what can we say? It's just the way things are. See something here. So it is what it is. Now, the next piece, which is amazing in my opinion, the X-Men 97 Wolverine. Although I'm telling you right now, I saw also the video announcement of the upcoming by Dotemu. Dotemu is doing the upcoming it's a Marvel beat 'em up. The same thing, following what they did with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge. I'm so excited for that one. It's like the X-Men 2, the X-Men the arcade, but now this is the second version with a lot of other characters from the Marvel universe. Looking forward to that. Definitely looking forward to that. I'll probably talk about it on my gaming channel at some point, review or whatever. But in any case, here you can see $245. Again, WonderCon exclusive. Very nice repaint. I'm telling you, you already had a brown version, but this is the repaint of the recent Wolverine that was announced, that I think is better version overall, stockier, better done, better sculpted than the original, the previous one. I think this is a better version. So now we have the brown version, and I'm telling you, this brown version, in my opinion, looks fantastic. That brown looks great, and you get all these different parts. Again, reusing a lot of the things that we saw on the previous one. It looks amazing. I think I prefer the brown custom to the cartoon type. This is based on X-Men 97, of course, but this brown version looks really, really neat. Very nice, very stocky. That's how you represent Wolverine. And I don't know how long it's gonna be available. I'm not sure it's gonna be available only through the WonderCon, and then it's done. But I'm telling you, this is the way you want to have Wolverine. Very nicely done. They did a really nice job with this one. I might just have to bite the bullet on this one. I really like it. And man, this line as a whole has been coming up really amazing. Here you can see this Mondo. Once it continues with familiar face, inspired by season 1 finale, Tolerance is extension. This exclusive classic variant also comes complete with a bonus swappable torso. Very nice. Definitely, again, this is the way you want to do it. Kudos to them. It's a very nice figure. Definitely, perhaps my favorite so far. I like this always. The brand custom is my favorite Wolverine custom. So looks really, really neat, and they did a really nice job with it. All right, so this is what we are looking into the statues. Now we're gonna move into the, with the faction figures. Now we're gonna move into the statues. But again, I want to say thank you to all who are watching this. Thank you for those who are leaving comments. Please do not forget to leave a like, to leave a comment. Let me know you're watching. It's very, very appreciated when you do it. Help me to keep, pushing the channel. All right, so the next thing. Oh, water feels good. I needed that water. Let's move into the statues, and for that, I want to come to Sideshow Collectibles, because I want to talk about Pure Arts. Pure Arts is a company. I've talked about Pure Arts before. Great company from Canada. Love Canadian friends. I have a lot of Canadian friends, a lot of collectors. I know there's a lot of things that are happening right now with the government, our government, dissing, you know, Canadians, and which I find it very disrespectful, very tasteless, because I do believe that, you know, Canada is like brothers to us, you know, here in America. You know, they're our neighbors, next door neighbors, and always been more than a friend, more than brothers. It's sad what they're doing, and I have a lot of friends of the channel who are from Canada. So if you're Canadian watching this, I want to say, you know, thank you for, you know, always having our backs, and we want to have your back too, regardless of what the government does. But one proud company from Canada is Pure Arts, and another reason why we should support them. Pure Arts, of course, they do amazing stuff for Assassin's Creed. They've been doing that. They have done amazing quarter scale statues for Assassin's Creed. Very amazing pieces. But some of them, of course, pricey because of all the intricate details with the light ups and stuff, because, you know, they have done amazing light up work. But now, being able to shrink them down into 1/8 PVC statues that still maintain some of that quality. They've been doing some stuff with PVC. It's a good, in my opinion, it's a good choice. And maybe some collectors might dislike the idea, saying, well, that decreases the value of the quarter scale. I don't think so. I think the quarter scale are beautiful as they are. Quarter scale, that is the ultimate representation. But if you want something smaller, if you're concerned about it, you want to build this collection and still selling these amazing sculpts, I think this 1/8 scale figures or statues, mini statues, 1/8 scale, is a great alternative. Right here you can see all the ones that have been released so far. For example, look at this Ezio, of course, Ezio and the trilogy, which is Ezio is one of our most recognized favorite characters from the Assassin's Creed. $135 here. You can also get this at Big Bad Toy Store. You can go any place. But Ezio looks really neat. It has the light up features. It doesn't have like crazy light. It still has some in the base and even in the custom. Very nice figure. Of course, no switch out parts. Everything is just the way it is, but still looks amazing. Shrink version, very well done. If you are a big Assassin's Creed collector, then definitely this is for you. If you have a gaming collection room and you want to just spruce it out with little things here and there with a collection, if you're invested into the Assassin's Creed franchise, then definitely this is a great addition. Ezio looks amazing. And again, it has some light up features that look really neat. Very, very well done. So Ezio looks amazing. This Animus collection, the Animus looks really nice. But it's not the only one. You also have Altair. Of course, this is from the original game. And Altair looks really neat. I like the pose they chose here. And again, reduced. I like the blue, really shines. How powerful is going to look? How strong are the light up features? Not sure. But this is a very nice version. Again, there's no switch out parts, but they went with a really nice pose. You know, again, this shorter version of the other one. Now, let me look at something here. Maybe we can get some of the details. The details, let me see what kind of light up it has. Again, it's PVC. Okay, it's power LED power supply method. It has a USB-C adapter. So, okay, that's great. So, it's not battery, it's USB adapter. Which is great. Does it come with it? Not sure. But, you know. Sometimes they come with very short cables, which I hate when they do that. I like it when they're long. So, we got this two first here, right here. Also, here you have Honor. I like the snow base. As you can see, all the bases are different. They're not chipping the bases. They're just actually kind of doing... I think they're really close to the original bases. Like the detail there. The texture on this figure looks really neat. Well done. Of course, looking at the third game. Connor there looks great. It's been other figures before, but I think this repurposed for statues look even better than the ones that smaller figures that we have seen before that actually were sold through with the games and the special collector's editions. Now we can see, for example, what's next. Oh, this one, Animus Bayek from Origins. Very nice light up. And I like the eagle. Oh, the hawk. I forgot the bird. I think it's an eagle, yeah. Very nice detail. Yeah, and I would say at this price point, you're really not breaking the bank. Of course, adds up if you want to buy the whole thing. But yeah, it's kind of neat if you want to just have a collection of them. Very, very cool. You have Cassandra. I think this is Odyssey, yeah. You know, I remember when we reacted to this statue when it came out. Now, of course, you know, it doesn't have the switch out. I think the Cassandra had switch up portrait or like a mask. Again, they're just going for the basic stuff, but I think that is neat. They go for it. They don't complicate themselves. They don't add more to the price, and I think the light up on this one is really nice. Cassandra looks great there. A nice detail on the base too, on the front. Some reduction on that just to make it reduce some of that extra detail so it can come out right. Then we have Eivor, of course, from Valhalla. Again, they all 135. I think this is perhaps one of my favorites. I like it very, very much. I like this nice pose, nice vase, very nice detail with Valhalla. This one looks really neat. I think Cassandra perhaps is my least favorite in the way they repurpose it. I think this is perhaps one of my top there. It's up there. I like Altair. I like this one. The next one that I want to look to here, we continue on. I'm just showing the pictures of all of them, and which is the most recent game. It will be this one right here, which is also great. Nice detail. Clean, looks really cool. Very nice detail. So again, you know, they're building this collection really nicely. And each game they have released, that's also a testament of what Pure Arts has been doing for all these years. Really doing and working on all these pieces as they have done. They've had really done amazing, as you can see all the Pure Arts stuff. Of course, some of the stuff is still missing. Some of the characters are missing. But it's great. You know, of course, they did Naoi. I think that's how you pronounce it, Naoi and Jasuke. So they have the versions, also the smaller versions. But it's cool what we're getting to see. Of course, when you look at the prices of some of the stuff they produce, they have the high-end stuff. You know, $3,000 for the high-end stuff. But you know, over time they have produced, you know, all sort of things, dioramas and all. And some of the stuff that they produce here is amazing and also very expensive. It's kind of neat to see what Pure Arts is doing too here on this one, and hopefully with this one also they continue on. Only time will tell if it will be a successful venture. But I think these are very, very neat overall, and it's cool to see what they are accomplishing. You know, they had the, you know, the bus, you know, they have so many things that are interesting. Hopefully, I think that's how they started. They started with this, with the Assassin's Creed line, and you know, it's been successful for them. Hopefully, this one does well too as a 1/8, and also brings more people in to this company, because I think you know, Pure Arts, it's a company that deserves attention and also a lot of support, and they have great ideas. I think they have great concepts. So yeah, it's cool. Hopefully, in the end, the final product matches, is really nice and well detailed, and it becomes very popular. So we'll see what else they also gonna shrink in the future. If this are successful, then they'll probably continue shrinking the others, and we'll see how that goes. So this is what I wanted to really showcase with Pure Arts. The next thing I want to cover, and this is actually before we go into a break, I want to talk about Gentle Giant Ltd, which in this case the same with Diamond Select Toys. You know, as we know, and I mentioned this before, they went bankrupt, which the signs for them to disband this company was there, and the fear. So far things have been calm. Nothing has been done to say that, oh, this is the end. So it's been an interesting time for this company. There is still the fear that we're going to lose a lot of things, or this is not gonna work out. But I think the company still fixed on doing some things and really bringing, something, to really have something to showcase. Because I would say I love Gentle Giant. Over the years, I collected so many things from Gentle Giant. I think it's a great company that was struggling until Diamond Select Toys took over. But it doesn't mean that it has been easy for Gentle Giant either. I think that Gentle Giant also has done a lot of things. It went from being a company that was considered at the top tier into a company that was unfortunately kind of considered on the lower end, the products. And a lot of people have kind of skipped it, not thinking too much about it. But Gentle Giant still does amazing. It's more of a premium quality stuff when you compare it to what Diamond Select Toys does. I still think that what Gentle Giant does, or the studio does, it still has more premium quality. Even the figures, the statues, the boss look always better than what you can see what actually is promoted as Diamond Select Toys. So I don't really know exactly how the division is there, because ultimately that line was kind of withdrawn in some way. The line was disappear eventually, and you're talking about the same company. But the studio itself, Gentle Giant, has been a studio that still produces and still designs. And Diamond Select Toys is the one that sells it, or is the one that actually manufactures it. So there's a lot of things there that are kind of iffy on the way these are being handled. But looking at the stuff here, look at all the line of things that have been released so far. Very, really neat. Just to kind of give us a better idea of what we're doing, I'm going to we're going to do this. I'm going to click at Star Wars, and as you can see, everything that has been done. It's hard to do it. That's another thing that I kind of hate from I'm gonna start with Star Wars. Here you can see the lines, the stuff that pre-order has been done. There's so many things that have been showcased recently. As you can see, there's so many things, so many products that we haven't really talked about. Some of them since the last time. And so it's gonna take a little bit of time here when I'm going through it. Like, for example, we got this Darth Maul shirtless mini bus. This is $130, which is the price now from the mini bus. It's an interesting concept. Very neat, very nice detail. The mini bus line continues to be, in my opinion, impressive. Darth Maul really looks great. And again, this is a 1/6 scale. But also we got Andor. If you like Andor, which I think the show, you have the K2 SO Premier Collectibles, $200. Now this is a website exclusive right here, the Clone Wars Clone Commander Doom, a mini bus, St. Patrick's Day's website exclusive. This is a very interesting mini bus. As always, Gentle Giant over the years have always done like special edition things for different events. So they decided to do this one this time around, which is kind of cool. Still, the mini bus line continues to be a selling point for Gentle Giant, $150. Only available through the website. They've been doing the Star Wars Rebels Ezra Bridger here, the animated mini bus. You got this Old Republic Jedi Knight Ribbon. Ribbon is $80. This is gallery statue, so this is out of PVC. On the Return of the Jedi Log Ray Milestone statue, Valentine Day website exclusive, this is Polystone. And also they got the Jumbo figures. They're still doing the Jumbo figures. The Darth Vader first appearance Jumbo figure, Revenge of the Sith. The Clone Wars Ahsoka Tano gallery statue. Again, this is PVC. They got this Boba Fett holiday special jumbo figure 2024 holiday exclusive. The pre-order of this one is sold out. This one, Empire Strikes Back Stormtrooper Legends in 3D Dimension bus, which is half scale, $200. Then you have the Star Wars The Clone Wars The Mother Taliesin animated mini bus, $90. Actually, this is a very impressive mini bus. Very nicely, great detail. Very cool, actually. I like this mini bus. I feel like they did a really nice job with this one. Very nice detail there, $90. These are scale-wise, trying to think, it says right there, 1/7. And you can see it can sell shipping to Australia, Brazil, many parts, Mexico, New Zealand, North America. Edition size of 2000. Very, very cool. I think these are polystone, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they are, just based on that. Ooh. Kicked out for a moment. All right, so we'll keep looking here. So as we go down, you got the Empire Strikes Back Snowtrooper milestone statues, another 1/6 scale. Another, they continue to grow that. Then you got the Dark Nihilus from the Old Republic 2. This is a PVC statue. I look at this one. You have Von Venden mini bus 2024 Hollywood exclusive. That's the thing about the impressiveness of this company, that they have done over the years so many mini bus, so many obscure characters that they have produced. You know, they have built themselves over time to produce amazing mini bus, and this is actually a very impressive mini bus with the detail there. Still, the mini bus line continues to be impressive. Gentle Giant continues to do amazing with it, and that is very, very cool. That is a very cool addition. This is definitely for the collector that has been doing this for a long time. You know, you got the Jedi Fallen Order Perch Trooper, another mini bus. The Premier Collection again. You got this, the Clone Wars Captain Fordo, very nice statue. Then we have the Asajj Ventress animated mini bus. That's another nice mini bus. On the very cool, again based on the animated series. Very well done. Cool for it. $100 for this one. Of course, this price is once it's sold. You know, the thing about Gentle Giant that they do support a lot of comic book stores. You can find them in comic book shops. Or, you know, sometimes the prices also go down here on the website. I like to come here all the time to look at some of the stuff. That's a gallery statue, another PVC statue of the Captain Rex. Look at this one. Darth Vader on throne. This is a Premier Collection. So this is 1/6 and 1/7 maybe? 1/7, yeah, it's made out of polystone. Very neat. Very neat statue. I think it's priced right. Not bad at all. And looking at the dimensions there, it's pretty much 10 inches tall. So that is cool. Premier Collection. And what else we got? Another jumbo. Now Jig Stand Premier Collection statue. And again, that's a pretty nice statue. Just G-Stank. And as a premiere, that means that it's a 1/7. Yeah. Yeah, over time, when you kind of know this, you start kind of knowing the scales of things. Premier Collection is always going to be 1/7. Very neat. Nicely detailed. Very nicely detailed. And keep into the next one. Yeah, we have the Fallen Order. Also, they're doing the gallery statue, which is PVC. The Andor Kino Loy mini bus. Even the portrait looks like the actor. Very cool. The Milestone statue, 225. At Pilot, AT Pilot. Those are the milestones are always 1/6. Very nice detail, simple base, but that has been the concept, and that is the thing. What I like about it is that they haven't changed in overall over time. They have still maintained the concepts of things. They have maintained the concepts. The bases are always been similar, so they haven't really moved away from the collection, which has kept the collections going, because you know, you continue with the standard. Everything has been standardized. And this, I think we talked about it this before. I talked about this Neither All Pearl Dark Raven, and I talked about that also Luke Skywalker. That was the last thing we took, I think, last time we did a video. So this is all the stuff that has been really announced for Star Wars since then. But now if I talk about Marvel, let's talk about the Marvel stuff. The things that they had done recently. Of course, Marvel also has been, they've been busy doing stuff for Marvel. I think the busy stuff that we see here, for example, you see the X-Men, the animated series, cable animated mini bus. They've been doing this collection. It's been amazing. A lot of things. Some of them I even see that they are sold on Walmart. But I think this cable looks great. I think it's a very nice base of, again, on the cartoon. So it has the cartoon style. I do have the mini bus that they created for this, you know, for their Marvel, which unfortunately that line they stopped producing a lot of stuff. I think they still do, but very rarely. But that was the last piece that they produced really for the Marvel mini bus line, based on the comics. Although this is a nice one, again based on the cartoon, $99. Here you can see this map, Jeff the Lancer animated style statue, Marvel Spider-Punk animated style. Of course, that's another one that they've been selling. X-Men 97 Sunspot animated mini bus. Marvel Phoenix Comics Legend 3D Dimension bus. The Green Goblin animated mini bus. I think that is a good one. I do like. This is for the, you know, the Spider-Man animated series, but I like the detail here. It's very cartoon accurate. Very nice mini bus. Very, very well done. Like the colors. This is a very cool one. This is a nice addition to that particular line that also continues to grow. And if I'm going down, look at this one. Also another animated mini bus. This is from Magneto on helmet. Without the helmet. Very cool. And look at this Marvel Dr. Octopus animated style. That's cool. The same with Groot. Those are tiny. Now there's a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. That was from last year. You can see Marvel WandaVision, the Vision in white version, 130. I think we talked about it before. The Infinite Saga. They haven't really done much recently. I don't think so. Very cool. Look at this one right here. The Spider-Man animation is Daredevil. Of course, Daredevil, the show. You know, I've been watching the show with my wife. I still got my doubts. I think it's not as impressive, the show, as the original show. And I will probably talk about it when the time comes, when the show ends. I feel that there's things that are, you know, that they could have improved, done better. So far, not necessarily impressed. But Daredevil there, which, you know, when the time comes, sells. Although I would love for them to do a comic accurate Daredevil mini bus. And this is the Black Widow mini bus. This is from the film. I like this one, actually. I like this very nice. It's not necessarily the actors 100%, but it's very, very close. And the way they did the hair, it's a very nice depiction of her. Very cool. Actually, it's a very nice one. But as you can see, it's just what Marvel is doing, and I think I'm done with the stuff that they have done Marvel. All the stuff we talked back about it in the past. You know, there's a lot of things that you can see now for sale. Well, actually, that Daredevil is for sale. So there are things here that are already available for purchase. So interesting to say that, you know, some starts going away, like Dr. Octopus, like being the animated series, that's going away. So just better do it now before it's too late. But yeah, like this one, Heroes. That I love that. Already sold out completely, but that bus is always really like it. But yeah, when you look at the stuff they're doing. Even Indiana Jones, I think they have some stuff. We talked about it last year. So, it's cool. I think, you know, I will tell you this. With Gentle Giant, just looking at the stuff they're producing, Even if we go to Diamond Select Toys, you find them there. But I would say the stuff that is definitely designed by them, I think, has been impressive. Here, look, and you can see a lot of the stuff that's been showcased there, been designed by them. But now the stuff that is showcased by Gentle Giant, like you can see right now, they got this Deadpool and Wolverine, part of the Premier Collection. This is, of course, based on the recent film. The cool statue. The film is crazy, man. If you haven't watched it, I think you can watch it right now on Disney Plus. I'm telling you, just watch it. You're into Deadpool, you haven't watched it, the film. Even if you already watched it, you want to watch it again. If you don't have the film, it's kind of cool. But a lot of stuff we see here. Look at this Scarlet Witch mini bus. This is now the new line of mini bus, which it's kind of interesting because the mini bus line was different. Like they got the larger 1/6 scale mini bus, and then they went into the one kind of like a thin stand, more of a 1/7. And so if this is more of a modern rendition of Wanda Maximoff, I rather like the original, the classic style. So unfortunately, they definitely moved away from a lot of the stuff that they used to do. So not necessarily a fan of that one. And even you can see a John Wick stained glass gallery diorama, which is that it's a PVC statue. They're also doing the Lord of the Rings figure. So, you know, they're still doing those figures. So there's a lot of things that they've been doing, but not necessarily, you know, I think that, and some of it, of course, he has to do a lot with what they've been doing lately with everything, what they're going through with their bankruptcy. So well, hopefully that changes over time. Hopefully they survive that. And also we can see Diamond Select Toys, most importantly, Gentle Giant, coming a bit ahead. I think the company deserves a win and deserves still, because, you know, people work there, and they still produce some stuff that is really, really interesting. Very nice to look at. But yeah, this is what we talk about Gentle Giant, and I'm gonna take a break now. It's time for a break. We still got some stuff to talk about. I want to say to all of you, everyone who is watching right now, I want to say thank you very much for your support. Thank you, Cypher Knight. But yeah, don't forget to also to leave a comment. Let me know you're watching. I'm gonna take a break, coming back, and when I come back, we're gonna talk about Oniri Creations. We're gonna talk about Weta Workshop. We're gonna talk about Toei Animation. We're gonna look at Jimei Palacework, Prime1 Studio, PCS Collectibles, and I want to look at the prop, the Doctor Doom life-size helmet from Hasbro. Gonna look at that when I come back. But thank you for your support. I'll see you in just a moment.
star tonight. You fill my soul with light the day we met. I don't wanna leave your side. Have me by your side when the sun sets. Let's leave for an eternity. We'll sail across the lights beyond the sky. I'll be with you eternally. I'm an addict for your love, it keeps me high. Can I be your star tonight? You fill my soul with light the day we met. I don't wanna leave your side. Have me by your side when the sun sets. Let's leave for an eternity. We'll sail across the lights beyond the sky. I'll be with you eternally. I'm an addict for your love, it keeps me high.
Tell 'em what your name is. Amplify for the speed house. Left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right, left and
All right, we are back. Thank you very much for allowing me to take some time to walk. Just I have to get up a little bit, you know, exercise a little bit. But any case, we are back. Thank you. So far, we have covered a good amount of things, collectibles and stuff. I want to talk about now that we're back. And again, I want to invite you, please, before we get into it, don't forget to leave a like. Let me know you're watching this video. Leave a comment. Say hello, and that is highly appreciated. I know you're watching that way. Give you a shout out too, and thank you for really dedicating this opportunity with me and spending time with me. Now let's get into it. Talking about, as we mentioned, about companies making a comeback, companies that still, regardless of the circumstances they're going through, they're still you know, moving along. There's many companies doing that. I did skip one. I realized that I skipped Iron Studios. We're gonna go back to it. Before I get into Iron Studios and talking about companies that doing a comeback, because we just talked about Gentle Giant and still kind of holding on and they're still doing stuff. I want to talk about Oniri Creations. Now, Oniri Creations, of course, a little more of the high-end stuff. And let me take you to I'll take you to Facebook. All right, so I'm trying to date something here, but I think I did it wrong. Just give me a second. All right, so come back. Let me just put you there. I want to say thank you, everyone. All right, so we're here at on Facebook. We're gonna look at Oniri Creations. As you can see, Oniri, we have covered some of the things that Oniri has done, and you know, definitely there's been some. As a company, of course, you know, they went into the bankruptcy thing, really affected a lot of people. A lot of people waiting for this stuff for a long time. You know, people that were put their money down. I spoke last year with the new owner of the company. You can go to have the live video. Looking through my live videos, look at the Oniri Christian JP Sari Oniri Creations interview, and he covers a lot of the things that we're trying to do, and they're trying to do to bring the company back. So it's been a challenge, but it seems like you already start releasing some stuff. They started seeing some video unboxings. They just released recently this unboxing of Sod. If you go to YouTube, you can see this. This is in their own channel, which they unboxed this one. This is one that was highly anticipated. It's a really nice statue. You can actually also, if It shows already an unboxing. It's kind of following the same example as Saisha does with their unboxing videos. All the parts that come together, as you can see. And this video kind of gives you an idea of the statue, how big it is, and how to put it all together. Very highly detailed statue for sure. And of course, you know, whoever pre-ordered this statue that wasn't pre-ordered for a while, it's about to get it. But they're still gonna have also others if you're interested on getting, you know, for those, you know, because a lot of things were canceled, things they still have more in production, so they want to sell more of that. This is why they try to offset some of the losses that they have while they're doing it. Very, very nice sod statue. But you can also, if you come to what is it that we need to know? Right. Try to find the things here. Right there. Spec Fiction. Even at Spec Fiction, you can still find some of the Oniri stuff. Right there. So they have it here also available. $150. It's going to release very, very soon. So if you are interested in getting this sod, you can come and get it right now at Spec Fiction. So we just saw the video how to put it together. It's already received, it's already shipped. So it's those who pre-ordered it are about to receive theirs. But if you are interested, now it's a good time to do it. Oniri definitely has a list of things here on Spec Fiction. A lot of stuff that is on the wait list, some stuff that is still waiting, people waiting to have. They're still working on things, trying to get them all served and set up for people. Some of the stuff that you see here, people have been anticipating for a long time. So we'll see what's gonna happen. But when you come to Facebook, if you go to their page, they're talking about, they have the stuff that is coming here. Here you can see the stuff and this particular post that they did also recently. They have it in French, but also they have it in English for those who are interested. Progress update. We received many questions about ongoing projects, so here's a full recap to keep you on the loop. On the shipping, Guts and Sod, the first batch arrived in early March and shipping has begun, and unboxing videos coming soon. We have EVA 00, regular, and metallic. The container finally arrived yesterday. Deliveries can now begin. Good news, we received the full production intended for Europe. Now, Sod the Immortal in human form, the one we just saw the video, currently at sea, expected to arrive in early April. City Hunter, the second wave, also at sea, expected arrival in early May. For those who missed the pre-order, the statue is now available on our website, so you can also go to the website. They have stuff there. On the production, they got Guts and Saw, the second batch, currently in preparation due to the size of the statue. Deliveries are being made in 3 waves. A bonus, a third batch will be launched later this year, and a limited number of this exceptional statue will be available for purchase. So, you know, there's still the chance for those who are really want to get into it. You might still get some stuff. Actaris and GTO, both statues are currently in production. We estimated deliveries this summer. GTO is extremely complex to produce, especially due to the detailed motorcycle, and as a result, Duke Fleet Actaris, which started later, will be completed at the same time. Now, the licenses, we are on the final stretch to renew 2 existing licenses related to current pre-orders. These are currently in the legal validation phase, and so far, everything looks good. We also finalizing designs for 2 new licenses we already signed. The painted prototypes are nearly finalized, and we are now in the design validation stage. Just for recap, as I mentioned when I had the interview with the owner, he was talking about that some of the licenses that once the previous company was completely gone, they lost those licenses. So they have to renew those licenses, and there was a process. Even though people pay the money and they wanted to honor those pre-orders, they're in the process. I think one of them perhaps is DC. So they're still waiting to see what happens. So for those who didn't get this, like they're waiting for Flash or they're waiting for other figures, I would say just keep an eye, hold your fingers, pray that everything works out. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure it's DC or maybe something else, but there's still some on the air. With DC still in the air, I think RoboCop license still in the air. Some other things are in the air. Just wait for that. What is that? RoboCop and what is that? Terminator's on the air. So we'll see what happens. But these are brand new projects that can't wait to reveal in the coming weeks. Order now. Visit our website to check our statues stock or in short-term pre-sale. These are already in production or currently en route to France, meaning deliveries are imminent. Payment in 2 or 3, I suppose, available. And they also have it in, I think that's Chinese. So they have it in all the different languages. So we know Southern Mortal, we just saw the video, it's coming. Eva 00 is also coming very soon, the 2 different versions. City Hunter, beautiful piece, 35th anniversary statue, very feel piece, very happy that it's coming. Duke Fleet also, it's coming. GTO, Onisuka Ikachi, this is gonna take a little longer, but it's already on production. So at least this is good news for those who have those pre-orders. And also, again, right there in production. So the expectation is there. So they validate, of course, Rendizer, which is great. And here you can see. So I would say just follow them. Here's another video looking at this stuff. So again, look at this with City Hunter. A beautiful display, beautiful piece. Again, my opinion here, it's just to keep an eye on. Have a little more patience, I suppose. I know people have been waiting for a long time. People are really hurt about it, but I'm glad to see that this company at least is pushing to try to bring back everything that was destroyed or was lost with the previous company. So yeah, there's still hope. If we go and look at Oniri Creations, let's see, and the website. Here are, it says, accept. I'm not in Alabama, but hey, you know, that's what they say. I think it's just the time zone thing. Okay. All right, so here, these are the pieces that are for sale. Still available. You got only 150 left, I think, for the EVA, I think, or worldwide. Okay, that is a beautiful metallic, very exclusive. You can see all prices are in euros, of course. That those are beautiful. Those EVA are amazing. Here you can see Femto, Griffith. So I would say, you know, it's nice to see that the company is pushing hard, you know, to really bring back some of the stuff that they lost. It is a process, of course, on the licenses. So you can see what Oniri has right now so far. They got Albator, Le Corsair, Del Space, Berserk, of course, Bleach, they have it. They got still DC, City Hunter, Cobra, the Space Pirate, Cobra, DC Comics, Dead Note, Evangelion, Full Metal Alchemist, UFO Robot, Goldorak, Grandizer, GTO, Hunter x Hunter, Naruto, One Piece, Robocop, Senseiya, Attacks of the Titans, the Terminator. Of course, some of them is still in the air, some of these licenses. So what's gonna happen? Are they going to be fully released? We'll see. They're working on things, so we'll see what happens. So yeah, I would say just keep an eye on it. You know, somebody asked me recently if I would interview the guy again, the owner. I haven't talked to him since that conversation we had over a year ago. But if I get the opportunity, yeah, why not? I will give it that. Maybe I'll reach out now when things start settling here and finally we get it. I'm gonna start reaching out to some of the people that we have talked in the past. Maybe we can do some interviews, more live videos, or also interviews. Now I want to also start pushing towards the podcast. Maybe do more stuff on the podcast on Age of Heroes. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm interested. But so far, I think that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I think products are coming, and hopefully everything that they announced and everything that was pre-ordered previously is delivered, and people get what they pay for. So we'll see what happens. Only time can tell. All right, so we're moving on, and I'm moving now to another company that is really, in my opinion, is great, which is Iron Studios. Now, Iron Studios, it's interesting because I'm looking at SciShow. When you look at SciShow, it appears, hey, what's up, Agent 37? How you doing, my friend? Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. Thanks, my friend. But looking at, it's surprising. I'm looking at, there's something going on between SciShow Collectibles and Iron Studios. I don't know exactly what it is. But they're not showcasing products here. Maybe they do it down the road. But the company that is right away, of course, you can go to the Iron Studios website. But I see that it's right away. If you go to Big Bad Toy Store, they have it there for sale, which is an option. You can go to Iron Studios website, you can come to Big Bad Toy Store. So everything that they are showcasing here, all the stuff that was released this week is here. So if we click at everything, I'm going to do buy new. Everything that was released from Iron Studios this week on pre-order. So look at all the stuff here. This is all the stuff that we was showcased, you know, on Friday, and now it's on pre-order. We talk about this Assassin's Creed stuff, which is kind of cool, but we have to talk about all those things. But I'm gonna look at this here, right here, for the Lord of the Rings Aragorn. We have this 110 Aragorn. I would say the price is a bit steep, $339, $340. That's pretty steep. 837. Good, thanks. What do you think of the Iron Studios Faker? We're gonna look at it in a moment, my friend. I'll tell you. Now this Aragorn, the photos kind of look like more of a design choice. I don't know if this is the actual statue itself or more a design thing. It's a kind of cool Aragorn statue. I like the pose. It's kind of neat. The likeness is okay. You know, the skull's there. Very nice detail. A lot of detail. Although I would say that maybe the base a little too tall. Okay, this is the part on the film, what the Two Towers film. The Two Towers? No, I think this is on the following. I forgot where they confront all those. I forgot the spirits and stuff. So it's kind of cool. Not bad. I still find the price a little too steep, and the base a little too tall, perhaps. Maybe they could have done something different with the base. You know, I think that the reason why you're paying that much money for that is just because of that base, which I think is a little bit unnecessary for Aragorn. The pose is okay. Now, the next thing we'll see is Daredevil Born Again. Of course, again, like I mentioned, I'm watching the show. I'm still not super impressed. $224. Cool concept. The stairs, interesting. Not necessarily a fan of that thing there, you know, whatever the face of the scary face on all that. It's a nice depiction. Great detail. Nice paint job. Although I will tell you, this pictures don't really do much justice because they're more of the artistic take. I would like to see more pictures of the actual statue. Without the Photoshop imagery, but cool. I would say it's cool. Not more than that. Now we go to the next one, and I'm gonna tell you, this Lobo perhaps is my favorite thing that was showcased here on this presentation. $279, I think is fair. With the dolphin and his dog, you know, his pup. It is just, it's super cool. I think this is perhaps my favorite thing here of all the stuff that was showcased. Iron Studios, I think this is perhaps my favorite thing. Very nice depiction of Lobo. Lobo is a character that definitely, it looks always good in statue form. Any statue of Lobo that I've ever seen, I think they all look great because Lobo is such a cool character. It's a villain, anti-hero, everything. They definitely went for a really nice touch, and definitely is a very, of course, you know, he's showing the finger, you know, but still, you know, it's Lobo, and you can actually change it for his weapon. That's very switch out portrait. The switch out arm with the weapon, that is super cool. It is a great Lobo. The only thing I would have actually does like that he has the interchangeable portraits too. It has the classic Lobo portrait, which is the classic from the comics, the original, and then of course you got the more modern with the, you know, the long hair, all that. So it does add interchangeable parts, which in my opinion makes it good. Bite me, fanboy. This is Lobo. This is how you do Lobo. And I think they did a really nice job with it. Look at the pup. Very nice detail there. The extra head portrait, the extra arm. Very nice. Definitely, this is a very nice looking, I think. And again, the price point on this one, this Lobo is perfect. $279. I think is where it needs to be. So kudos to them for doing a really nice job there. Now, the next thing I want to really cover, the next thing here. I should go for all the Marvel stuff first, but not in any case, we'll do it here. The next one, we're going down the line. We're looking at Mortal Kombat Classic Kung Lao, and this is a very nice Kung Lao. I was looking at the portrait. It looks like Mario Lopez for some reason. I was looking at, man, that looks like Mario Lopez. Like if you kind of see him Mario Lopez recently, like, I follow the guy. Looks always young. The guy looks young at his age. But the older he looks, more Asian he looks, and he is Mexican, of course. But a lot of Mexicans have a little Asian look. But it's a really nice depiction of Kung Lao. Very nice. The Mortal Kombat collection has been very successful. They've been always amazing, very on point. And very nice detail there with the acid at the bottom, the Mortal Kombat symbol. Very, very cool. Very nice detail of that battle zone. It's a very nice statue of Kung Lao. Very nicely done. It's gonna fit so great. So definitely this is a good one. $224. I think it's a really nice price. No interchangeable parts, just the way it is. Now, going into the expensive statues, which in my opinion, I don't get it, but that's how they do it. You have the Snow White. There's two versions. There's the classic version, $279. Find it overpriced too, but anything that they do for some weird reason, anything that has to do with Disney, is expensive. And it's a nice depiction. The paint job is nice of the Kung Lao. Yeah, it is nice. But now looking at this Snow White or Sleepy, or what I think that's his name. I forgot. It looks really nice. It's a nice depiction, nice base, very cool. I think this is a very nice one. The price point is, I still remember when the Aragorns were like $100 and some, and now it's in the 200 mark or above 300. So a nice depiction. If you're building this collection, they've been building this Disney collection. And it's nice that this is an option. This is a perfect option. It's very cool piece. Very nice if you have to have, Disney collection. Very, very cool. Price, I think it's fair. $279. I think it's a little overpriced. Should be like $239 the most, in my opinion. Where they really break the bank is with this, the limited edition, the deluxe, $784. I think that they're completely out of their rocker. They're out of their mind. But that's nothing to do with our series. It's mostly with what Disney wants. It has all the dwarfs, which is great. Very nice display. But it's not worth $700. When you look at the other one, $200. What is it that the difference here is like almost $300 and $700, like $400 difference? You tell me that $400 is just because having all these guys in there? Just insane, in my opinion. I think this is where they definitely lost me. Just because they add this part is $400. All this part is $400 difference. I don't buy it. I think that it's just when they really can. Yeah, you can see the back and you can see the detail with the witch and everything, but it's still $700. It doesn't make any sense. No, all that addition to the detail yet is great. I don't think it's even worth $500, to be honest. The whole deluxe version. To me, the deluxe version should not be more priced than $350. $400. Put it at $400. That's about it. But hey, it's cool looking. I like it, and I think what really kills it for me is the price point. It kills it because it's nice. It's a very nice depiction of these characters. Very well done. The artist did an amazing job. It's a very nice translation of the character and the this classic iconic character and the this animated film that is classic and iconic, of course. It's just not worth $700. I'm sorry, but it's not. With all the stuff that out there that you can buy, almost $800, no, it's not worth it. Even with the $4 that you do for shipping in Big Bad Toy Store, still not worth that amount. So I skip that one. That's not necessarily need. Now, keep it moving. Now we got G.I. Joe, which is another license that they're really going for. And now the G.I. Joe, we have seen, of course, Snake Eyes. Yeah, we get to see Snake Eyes. What was the other ones I seen? Storm Shadow. I think that's it. But Flint looks great, man. $224 I think is fair. That's the new price. Pretty cool, the detail that they did that. Very nice with Flint. Very nice is holding that. Dreadnought. Cobra. Oh, look at the smoke grenade. Very nice detail there. Oh, look at that. The detail of somebody shooting him. And the bullets, the ricocheting and all that stuff. It's kind of cool. Nice detail. No Joes. Nice detail. So yeah, I would say so. Another addition to that collection that is also growing. Then we have the Star Wars, the Clone Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is also a nice one. Very nice detail there. Of course, you know, some of the droids that he already vanquished. Very cool detail there. I wish actually with the way they did the effect of with the sword, I wish it was actually interchangeable. And you got one that is just without that effect. That effect has never been like, oh my god. It's kind of intriguing. It's interesting. It's, oh, actually, dude, it does have the interchangeable one. So you got the extra lightsaber. So I prefer that lightsaber of that effect. Although that effect is kind of cool in some way, but I prefer the other one. Just simple. So 200. Now we go into Faker. Look at this Faker. I will tell you, as you asked me, what do you think of the Faker? I think it's great. I think it looks very menacing. $214, I think is an excellent price. I think that's what 110 should be overall, all the pieces. It's more and more a modern take now with the destroy arm. Not necessarily a fan of that. There is an interchangeable arm on that one. I will see in a moment. That would be even better. I would like to have a full arm. But the detail, the sculpt is great. Of course, there's detail in that base, and there's damage, of course, like battle damage. I will say it's nice. The only thing not necessarily a fan is some of that destroy parts in the armor. It's cool. It would be nice if they would have done like interchangeable portrait. I don't see there's nothing interchangeable here. Interchangeable arm. So you can interchange into battle damage, but also, you know, just regular. Yeah, it's the thing. You know, I wish there was two versions. One like this, or perhaps one with interchangeable parts. And maybe at $214, based on the other prices that we see, they could have just actually priced it at $279 or whatever, as they did Lobo with interchangeable parts. It would be nice to have an interchangeable portrait, which has like an undamaged portrait and undamaged arm. There's only two things that you need to change is the arm, the portrait, and also the arm. You know, and they couldn't do without the damage in his arm, like on this side. I don't know why. Of course, he's in a battle, but I don't know. It's unless they're gonna come up with another version at some point. They could have two versions and sell them two versions separately, and a deluxe version with the interchangeable parts. I don't know. That's my only thing. I think that they miss an opportunity here to have Faker just regular Faker without just battle damage. They could have just done a lot more with that. So I don't know. I don't know. To me, that's a missed opportunity because the sculpt is nice. Like looking at the sculpt, the body is nice. The concept, the execution and the concept of the body and the pose is nice. The base is simple, but he has the story to tell. There was a battle, but they couldn't just, you know, he's pretty much damaged instead of just having it just like non-damage. I don't know. I think that they just dropped the ball on this one, unfortunately. And you know, it had a lot of potential. And at $214, man, they could have just go for more than that and actually make it more valuable. People would pay the money. Look at the other things that they have done. Look at Lobo. I think Lobo was the better rendition, and it has two interchangeable portraits, and they changed the whole concept with the arms, everything. $279. They couldn't do the same with Faker. $279 with interchangeable parts, and it would be nice. But, you know, so Iron Series, you dropped the ball on this one. I'm sorry, but could have been better. Hopefully, you rethink this, and maybe you sell another Faker, but on damage Faker or regular Faker, that would be nice too. Maybe you can do that too. Maybe that's the plan. Who knows? And the next thing, the next one on the list is Marvel Spider-Man vs. Villains Battle Diorama Series, which is something that they're now building with Miles Morales, $110 to $79, which again seems like is the price they're seeing. I will tell you, it's kind of nice concept. Of course, you're gonna build a diorama with the other characters, but this is not worth $279 in my opinion. But of course, they want to bank on the popularity of Miles Morales, which is popular, and the Marvel license and all that. But still, I find it $279 is too expensive. It's a beautiful statue, but this should be around $214. This should be around $214 because it's not like oh my god, super crazy stuff amount of detail there. Well, there's detail. It's detail there. Well, now when I look at it, the base a little taller. I would say still 214, maybe 250 the most. I like the concept. I thankfully with the, you know, as tall as it is here, you know, when you're gonna start building this diorama, it's gonna look nice. Of course, all the Spider-Mans together. They could have shortened a little bit the distance to the ground, maybe, because now it's gonna be really tall. As you can see, it's pretty tall in size. It's not as tall as a 1/6 scale statue. So, but yeah, it's cool. It's a nice concept. Definitely, they're milking these concepts here. With Miles Morales, it seems like a lot of people are doing statues of Miles Morales, of the Spider-Man and the dioramas concepts and things like that, which I always love. I think Spider-Man always sells. Miles Morales is a character that is popular right now. I think they're always doing battle dioramas is great. I think that on that end, Iron Studios is actually doing something good. I think Iron Studios, by really pushing the diorama concepts and a lot of things, I think they're really nailing it, because 1/10 scale pieces are perfect for that, for dioramas. The only thing that I would just say that Iron Studios need to do better or improve is sometimes they do huge bases unnecessarily so. And when you're building dioramas, you don't need that much base or tall bases or huge bases that add more to the dimensions. You just need something simple and just a statue that I can do it. I think that's what they have nailed with Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat, most pieces, as you can see right here, they have the tiny little bases. Simple bases, simple concepts, nothing complicated, but that really adds, you know, they're not tall, they're high to the ground, they pretty much ground level, and it really helps. That's all that you need. You don't need nothing more complicated than that. And sometimes they do with some statues, and some others, like for example with Snow White. The Snow White, simple base, simple everything, and then you add this other base at $784. They're trying to justify the price by adding a huge base that it's adding nothing to the piece. You couldn't simply you couldn't sell this diorama separate and then actually sell another diorama with the dwarfs to go alongside it, you know, just to make a companion diorama or a proximity piece, separate piece, and build this Snow White diorama. But now you want to sell all in one package, and people are not going to pay that money. But sometimes you do little things here and there, like one piece. When you start building stuff, little by little, people start building stuff. You actually get the same amount of money without having to push people to the edge, to try to, you know, to pay, you know, because sometimes you got to think now, particularly in this economy, like, do you do your mortgage payment, or you pay a statue for $800? You know, like something like this. You know, you have to think about the big picture. So that is the approach I think our students, when they do like the smaller pieces, everything well done, well executed, they do well. When they try to overcomplicate themselves with adding more stuff to it, and that actually adds up to the price, it definitely doesn't work. But yeah, I would say Iron Studios, again, doing amazing stuff. There are a lot of stuff that we have talked before, previous videos about the other stuff that they've continued to produce. I think they're doing amazing. Look at this Pocahontas, $739. Again, the concepts that they're doing with all this Disney stuff is super expensive, and I don't think it's, you know, it's making people happy, and I don't think people are buying as much as they could if they actually do it the right way. But again, that's just my opinion. So this is what Iron Studios did this time around. Thank you. You know, thank you for those who are watching. Thank you, Agent 37, for your opinion. I definitely agree with you about Faker. All right, so let's move on now to the next company, and I'm going to take you to Weta Workshop. Of course, Weta always is a company doing really amazing work. They release this week a new statue. Let me allow cookies. These are a couple things that you have seen so far. They're doing this miniature stuff, which is something that it's going on pre-order. If I'm not mistaken, this is a preview here, what is to come. I think it's going on pre-order very, very soon. And when it goes, I'll talk about it. They're doing this amazing miniature stuff. But before we get into that, as you can see, they have the Boromir statue one. They have two different statues for Boromir. They have a 1/6 scale, and they also have a quarter scale, which is amazing that they're doing this. Now, Boromir, the 1/6, which right now price is available, is $299. Looks amazing. And again, you know, when they do these statues, look at the scale. And just to give you an idea of the artist here involved, the principal sculptor is Jason Song. He has done other pieces. You can see the stuff they do. Normally the 1/6 scale is always amazing, like the Coronation Arwen that's available, King Aragorn, the Witch King of the Unseen Lands. They do amazing work on the 1/6. Look at this statue. But still, you know, when you come and think about what Weta has been doing for the, you know, for years, it's been the company that has produced so many products for the Lord of the Rings. They still do, and they're being consistent. They've been very consistent with the products and with the different lines. They always have something for everyone in different scales. And I think this is a depiction that is so well done. They still a lot of do digital stuff, but they also did a lot of traditional sculpting and amazing work. I like this portrait. Perhaps this is a better portrait that we have seen of the actor. The likeness is better, even than the Prime1 studio. The Prime1 studio is amazing. It's a, you know, bigger scale, quarter scale. But the likeness on this statue here, as we can see on the, of course, the prototype here, looks really on point. Of course, in the end, you know, it's a matter of, is it going to be like this in the end? The final product will represent this or reflect that. Only time can tell. Now, here's the Boromir with free Give Horn of Gondor. This is the quarter scale prop replica. What is this prop? That's what I'm trying to think. Okay, this is a special gift that they have for this 1/6. I know it's not to have a quarter scale. This one has a quarter scale prop replica that was a free gift that came with it, the Horn of Gondor, which is kind of cool. That was a gift that was given to you, ordered directly here at the website. I don't know why they went for a quarter scale on that one, but hey, it's just a gift that was given to your order. Initially, it's already sold out. It was first come, first served. Whoever came first, you took it, and it's on. It's gone. It's gone. But that was a nice touch, really nice gift there. But you can always come here to, I think they have it also available in Spec Fiction. I don't know if they have that one in particular, but they do have, here you can see also they have the Iron Studio stuff that we saw. They have it here, and right there they also, you can find it at Spec Fiction. $400 here. Very cool piece for sure. This was just the regular one, but look at this detail here. Look at something here. This is the pictures. Very nice detail. And this is the scene on the movie. And as you can see, that portrait, man. Very, very close. It's super close. Sculpted piece. Very nice job. I would say Weta Workshop, again, killing it and the way they're doing things. A company that is very, very impressive for sure. They continue to be impressive, and I like what they always have done over the years. So kudos to them for another nice job as usual, as they have always done. Now, as we move here, and we're still here in Spec Fiction, I want to go to the next company, and we're gonna go now into the anime stuff. And now, Toei Animation, this company, of course, producers of many anime, the classic animation, of course. Dragon Ball Z is one of them, but also they in Japan, they release statues too, and they produce statues and figurines and action figures, all of that. But Toei Animation has their own now release, which is amazing. It's the Ultra Instinct Goku 1/6 scale statue, and this one looks amazing. $679. This is made out of you know, polystone, all of that, resin and polyurethane. So it has, you know, mixed media elements, but it looks amazing. And when you look at Goku, what I like about this one is that it has so many interchangeable parts too. It looks amazing. They do the Ultra Instinct Goku. Look, you can see the explosion in here. His hair changing into that kind of like grayish, bluish color. And they did all the, you know, I don't know if it has a light up feature, to be honest with you. But what I like about it is like two different pieces in one. The interchangeable torso, I think. Look at that image here with the transformation. So it really shows the transformation of Goku. Of course, there's a lot of stuff going on in the background. It's an impressive tall piece. There's an explosion there. And it has the LED illumination, which is great. Look, with the LED illumination, looks even more fantastic, more impressive. And there you can see the torso interchangeable there, which is great. It's a nice concept. It comes with a little stand. It looks really neat. Very nicely detailed. Very nice piece. Definitely for the Dragon Ball Z fans, this is going to be definitely a highly sought out piece in my opinion. I've always picked fiction. It looks impressive. There's a lot of fans out there that only collect anime stuff, and you know, I'm sure a lot of people are gonna be super excited for this one because it is very, very impressive. There's no edition size yet. It doesn't say exactly when it's gonna be released. We don't know yet, but it looks really, really fantastic. Again, you can order this free United States, free in Canada, free in Australia shipping. Europe is free. United Kingdom is to be disclosed. Malaysia, Singapore is free. So yeah, this is a great addition from Toei Animation here. I'll give you an idea what Toei has done, the statues they do, and Spec Fiction carries a lot of them. Like they do amazing statues. I talk about a few of those statues here, like this One Piece Yamato. I talked about it before. Also Ronoa Sora. We talk about it. We talk about Saint Seiya, and we talk about Monkey D. Luffy. We talk about all of them, and we know that also Vegeta is coming soon, and Son Gohan is coming soon. So yeah, we know that this is the next thing that they're going to be promoting and pushing for. So Toei Animation doing really something very, very amazing this time around. Now, the next company I want to talk about, and this is another one that in my opinion is doing amazing work for sure. And right now here is for sale. Here you can see it is Jimei Palacework. Jimei Palaceworks, I love what Jimei Palaceworks does. Now they have released a Capricorn Shura. This is from Saint Seiya fans. If you're a Knights of the Zodiac fan, then you're gonna love this one. A lot of people around the world love Saint Seiya. I'm one of them. I grew up watching the cartoon, so I know. You know, when I talk good about Saint Seiya here in America, a lot of people who grew up in North America don't really care much about it because they don't know much about Saint Seiya. It was not something there. But when you talk about people from Europe, and like people from Mexico, people from Brazil, you know, from Latin America, when you talk about people that, you know, they grew up watching this cartoon, and even in Africa, there was such a popular thing, a cartoon that was explosive. People in France, people in Italy, Spain, you name it. So many countries, Saint Seiya is like the thing. Now, this Capricorn Shura, Capricorn is always from all the golden knights, you know, from the 12 knights of the Zodiac. All the concepts, you know, there's a couple. Aldebaran, Taurus is one of my favorite concepts. So like them, and then Shura. I love Shura. I love his concept. You know, the sleek design of the armor. Well, now we have it. Now this is the thing. There's different versions. We're gonna look at this one first. There's version B, version C. There's version ABC, and then you got version A. Now let's look at the version A, because this is the confusing part. A lot of people are so confused about it because there's not much explanation. Now, version A is technically based on the comic book, on the manga. The $865. This version A is an action. There's two different pieces, to be honest with you. The version A is just an action based, again, on the manga. And it represents an action pose. He is using his, pretty much his sword, the Excalibur sword that he has in his arm, which is that's the Zord, and he's using that power to cut. And they use the Excalibur statue in the background. Everything is well done, as you can see with the portrait. Very nice. Version A. By the way, you can order this through their Jimei Palacework website. They also have their own website, or you know, you can go there, and I can show you Jimei Palacework. Which is amazing because Jimei has done, and this is not a sideshow yet, but I'm maybe eventually it's gonna come out in sideshow. But you look at the Jimei Palacework here. This League of Legends, we talk about this piece, very nice piece. The one piece, you know, Jimei Palace. I will tell you, it's impressive what they do. Here all the stuff. We'll look at Saint Seiya here. Here you can see they have the different pieces, and of course you have to pay $208. I think that's just for the authorization. But all the statues that we're gonna come back here, but just to we stay here. So very nice piece, just like that. Very cool. So this is the action pose. Very nice, showcasing that. Based in the manga alone, this is not their armor, and even his portrait, all based in the manga, is not based in the cartoon. There was few differences on the appearance there. But then you have the next version, which is version B. Like, I think these are the versions that are gonna be more popular. This is where he's standing. This is more of a museum pose. It's $475. I think the price is better. Again, this all 1/6. It's a lot cheaper than the other one. But it's a very simple, but the execution of Excalibur, he's just doing the arm, which is the way he's about to cut you with his arm. And it's great. The only complaint that people have is that people were hoping that the actual portrait was based on the armor, was based on the animation, rather than having the armor, the portrait based on the manga. And they should have, just because at the end of the day, most people who remember Sensei, yeah, they remember because of the cartoon rather than the manga. The manga was more limited to Japan, but the animation was the thing that was worldwide. So I think a lot of people, I saw that even on Facebook, people complaining about it, saying that they should have preferred to have the animation. But this is the version B, again, based on the no switch out parts. That's it. Version B is just simple pose. It has it's still a beautiful portrait and a beautiful base. To be honest, I rather like this pose than the action pose of the other one. I like this is the way you represent the character better. Now, the next one, which is the one that I think people are going to be excited about. And the thing is this is the version C. Technically, it's just buying the switch out part. So technically, if you want to have this, you have to buy this version B plus version C. That means that you have to buy the pretty much just the torso separate, or in this case the portrait. I think it's a torso. Here you can see it's $145, which I like it. I like that they're doing that because some people, there was a lot of confusion in reference to it, because I think that they were saying that there was only one version. You can just change. You have to change the whole. You have to buy the whole thing as a package. People, you have to pay an extra $145 just to get the torso based on the animation. This is how I remember him from the back in the day from the cartoon. And then, of course, years later, I read the manga. But as I remember, my memories always has been this is the way. And this is what people want. And there's even differences in the armor. Some things in the armor, people complain about the armor not being completely accurate. But the point is this. This can be used and transfer into the other one so you can have the actual rendition. So you pay $145. To be honest with you, if you are into it, you're going to have to buy both. You're going to have to buy version B, version C, so you can display it this way, because this is the way that most people remember Shura. And in my opinion, it looks amazing just the way it is. So yeah, it's gonna add up to the price point. Ultimately, you're almost paying the same, $145, just to give you an idea, plus the $475. So it's $575 and $45. So it's almost $710 something, $700, well, $700 plus the no shipping, which is free, which is fine. Over $700 you're paying. Versus this other version here, which is $165. It's a lot nice. It's nice, bigger and all that. But I'd rather grab version B and C together than have this version. Now, if you are a completionist and you want to have everything because, hey, that's how you do, then you can go for ABC, which is everything combined, and it's $1340. So again, you get the action pose, all of this, again, 1/6. And then you get the, version B, version A, and version C. Well, this is the ultimate collector that wants everything. But if it was me, if I'm the one making the choice, I'm only go for B and C, B and Z, and forget A. Honestly, as much as I like it, unless you are like, you're a super hardcore fan of everything you do is nice. There's the Zodiac and Sensei, everything is Sensei related, and that's where you need to have everything. Then you go for it. But if it was me, I only do A and B, and I'll be done with it. I think that's what most people are gonna do. I will definitely go hand in hand. You can do A if manga was your thing, but I think most people are gonna go for the animation because that is the how they remember Shura, how I remember Capricorn Shura more than anything. So I think that is the one that I go for. But yeah, the option is there too. It's cool, and I would say Jimei Palacework again doing really nice work. When you look at what Jimei has done here as a company, look at all the stuff that they release, all the stuff they produce, and a lot of the nice of the Zodiac stuff that they have produced are looking amazing. Technically on the Animus stuff, One Piece, definitely it's great. As a company, it's amazing the nice of the Zodiac products that are out there. Many companies producing so much stuff. Look at also the stuff they have done. Look at Bulma right there, Dragon Ball stuff. Super, it's just this company. It's definitely have done really amazing work. I'm impressed with Jimmy Palacework. They're growing in popularity. The products they produce is always very nicely detailed, very nicely done. And here you can see you had the Siren Sorrento, and which is a beautiful piece, by the way, too. And then you have like Aphrodite. This is in stock product. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Very good Shaka. That's another great piece. Huge, by the way. So yeah, Saint Seiya doing really cool stuff. Jimmy Palacework definitely doing amazing for sure. And the music was just going there. I don't know if you heard it, but it was going there. But yeah, Jimmy Palace doing amazing work. Proud, to see them go and really killing it what they do. All right, the next thing now, we're moving on. I want to move now to probably one of the companies that definitely it's always there. Let's go to Prime1 Studio. We haven't really done Prime1 Studio. Let me go here. Prime1 Studio, of course, you have the QDMs, Evangelion, cutie stuff. Not necessarily a fan of none of this. Thinking you liking, cool, but not my thing. But on the new products, we're talking about Prime1 Studio. There were two things, and this here, right here, the Fourth Angel is also available at Sideshow. This is the Evangelion. I think it was a very impressive showcase and the recent showcase. This is definitely for the fans of Evangelion. This is concept by Josh Nisi, which, by the way, has been so instrumental in the popularity of this. A lot of the mecha stuff they produce, he's pretty much, I think, he's been, doing a lot of work with Prime1 Studio, doing a lot of amazing work and concepts. This Fourth Angel looks really impressive. $899. This is the regular version. I think that there's no other version. I think this is the only version. Looks really neat. The level of detail that was showcased there. They spent a little good amount of time in the showcase talking about this product. And definitely this is for the ones who have been building this collection, which has been really, really impressive. And as you can see, many companies that have done really concepts of EVAs. We just saw, of course, Oniri Creations doing really amazing work, but many companies have been doing great stuff with EVAs. But I think Prime1 Studio is up there, particularly with Josh Nisi being at the forefront, as being the leader designer and the one really doing the concepts. I think this is another great addition. But when you look at it here you can see this statue. Nice concept, light up feature, illumination in the eyes. It's not like a overly complicated piece, there's detail, but very nice paint job too, to give that nice detail there. Very nice concept. Yeah, the pictures really, really look at all the little details, the texture and the armor and the body. Really, really cool concept. And right there next to an Eva. Very nice detail there. Huge and impressive piece for sure. Definitely for Evangelion fans. But also, if you can come, Sideshow, of course, has been carrying him. And also is right here, $1,000 right here through Sideshow. But it's there for those who are interested. And when we look also, moving on from the Fourth Angel for this, I think the biggest release, of course, and I think perhaps the one that has surprised a lot of people. People were anticipating this, of course, since last year when it was showcased for the first time. People were hoping for this to be like a hit right away. People were like ready to pre-order. Just for a lot of people, for their dreams to be shattered, unfortunately. And this is the Optimus Prime Weapon Depot. This piece, of course, we saw the video. It's $20,000. And when you look at here at the video, of course, it showcases this, put it all together. It's an amazing representation with all the different weapons and everything. They talk about it extensively. They showcase it extensively. It's huge. This is a centerpiece. This is the piece that is the mother of all pieces. Like he has so much detail, light of features. Light of features galore. Everywhere there's a light of feature. There's interchangeable weapons. There's so many things. There's so many ways that it's busy, but that is just what they were trying to do, trying to make it look like that. It's concept-wise is great. But $20,000, that is a hard pill to swallow. That shattered so many dreams. People were like so mad about it. They've been mad about it, talking about it. People making videos about it. People have been mad about it because, you know, it makes sense. You know, like people were thinking like, oh, this is gonna be expensive. Thinking, oh, it's gonna be, when we talk about, for example, what was that? You know, we were thinking about 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, not 20,000. I think that's when they overblew the whole thing. It's super huge, and ultimately, this is for the ultra rich. This is for those who are building in some museum, for museum style. That's all it is. There's nothing else for it. But when you look at the details here on the bonuses here, for example, the ladder features is nice. There's 69 pictures. It has a swappable weapon part. That's the bonus part. It has a different weapon. It's a big cannon. It's huge, but to be honest with you, at this point, just give it to everybody. For $20,000, you might as well. That weapon looks huge. And, you know, don't get me wrong. I will tell you, when it comes about statues, I think, particularly based on the films, on the Bayformers, there's no one like Prime1 Studio. They are the kings of it. No one has come close to represent the quality, the detail, even in the action figures, even action figure, there are very great action figures out there, but none of them, if you want the ultimate collectible, then you gotta go with Prime1 Studio. They do the ultimate things with the Transformers. Overall, across the board, almost every statue, no one else there. Other companies have done some Transformer stuff. Of course, we've seen PCS Collectibles doing. We saw Imagineering Art, where it no longer exists, doing stuff also based on G1 and some other concepts. But when it comes about the ultimate king, the ultimate daddy, who is everybody's daddy, that's Prime1 Studio. But at this price point, it's hard to really justify it. As much as I like it, as much as it's great, and I know that we have seen great Optimus Prime statues, it's not even a quarter scale or anything. It's still, but still feels like it's just too much. And I'm saying quarter scale because if it was true quarter scale, it would be like higher than the house. You know, we're talking about, you know, but you're talking about within the same height of quarter scale pieces, you know, within the same height. But yeah, we just got out of there. But let me go back again. Swappable head parts, LED illumination. Of course, the swappable head parts is the open mouth, the closed mouth for battle. You know, you got the swappable weapons. It has a lot of things, but again, it's not something that I personally think that is worth $20,000. In my opinion, this should be around 10, and that is just pushing it. 10,000, maybe 6,000. Honestly, should it be 1,000? We shouldn't be paying this type of money for this type of statues. But there we are. Here we are. You know, this is how it is nowadays. And honestly, it's one of those things where you're like, okay, how far are we gonna go? Let me see if I can go back. Here are the other pictures going backwards. Light up features are nice. Beautiful piece. Definitely, I would love to see it in person. I would love to see it. I would love to have it in my house because I'm a big Transformers fan. I love these concepts, but it's up there. And ultimately, it's one of them that only a very handful, you know, just a handful of people will be able to see it ever added to their collection. You know, I would not paying $20,000 for that. I would have to sell a lot of collectibles. I could buy it. I would have to sell so much stuff in order to buy it, and that's doable. But because I do have that in a lot of collectibles, but yeah, not necessarily something that I would like to see. But yeah, I would love to see it in person. Maybe I get the chance. Who knows? You never know. But in any case, I think that's definitely a hard pill to swallow. But yeah, $20,000. That's definitely something that not everyone can definitely afford. Now, after that depressive situation, let's move to something more hopeful, and let's go to PCS Collectibles. Now, PCS Collectibles is definitely a company that personally, I don't know why it does that to me. But I don't want that. I hate when he does that, man. I hate when he does that. Like he was trying to do. Okay, whatever. History does. I don't know. Well, here it is. Pre-CS Collectibles. We'll talk about. I want to talk today. We'll talk about other things before, but I want to talk about Emperor Palpatine. This is definitely a very nice piece. it's amazing to see what Premium Collectibles is doing. And when I look at the price, you know, base versus what we saw were $20,000. Even though I would tell you that $1,500 is a lot of money for a statue. After coming from 20,000, coming down from 20,000, I will feel more comfortable with this. But again, this is not also for anyone. You know, $1,500 is $1,500. But Emperor Palpatine looks amazing as a 1/3 scale. And of course, they keep pushing the 1/3 scale. It's something that is really great. This current price reflects early bird pre-order window pricing. Early bird discount valid till 5 days, 1 hour, 29 minutes. So it's technically about to expire in 5 days. So you want to get a discount. Let me see how much the discount is. I think it's it doesn't really say, but of course we have seen the Darth Maul 1/3, which is hyperreal statue there, which is great. But when we look at Palpatine, the detail is great on the piece. Very nice detail. We have seen the prototype and it looks fantastic. Very nice detail. It looks like real cloth. I think it's, and I like how they did the base and how they're doing the concept of the base with the art, telling a story. Something that they're doing now, which I think is super nice and nice. It's a nice thing that they're doing. I've taken notes from other companies in Asia. They've been doing it for a while, and now they're doing it. And PCS is really kind of pushing for those details. It really tells a story. And I think there may be some light ups in there. Even the paint job and the fingernails, you can see the grime and the dirt, which is great. Very nice detail there. But here is the story, of course, different scenes from the movies. Very nicely done. And also light up features there. They have done really a nice job here, like 23 inches in height, 21 in depth, and 18 in width. So it does have good size dimensions. It's a very nice piece, and I would say Premium Collectibles PCS continues to be impressive. They're doing a lot of impressive concepts for sure. Just look at the stuff that they have released so far. The variety, this is the thing that really gets on me of PCS, is they have variety. And that variety can be a bad thing, but also it's a good thing when it's done properly. So as you can see right now, this is $1,530 because of the early bird. But once it goes on sale, it's gonna be $1,700. So once this expiration goes away, so it's gonna be 17. So I always say this is the best time to get it. This is now. So that's the option there. All right, so finally, let's move on to the last thing that I want to cover today. We had a good night, but the last thing I want to cover tonight is this, and this is actually very affordable. This Doctor Doom Premium roleplay, they call it. It's a mask, you know, a life-size helmet by Hasbro. $115 at Sideshow. You can probably go to also Hasbro. I don't know if they have it. Let me see. Big Bad Toys has it. Doctor Doom. Right there. They also have it. The Marvel Legends Doctor Doom replica, $114. So you can come here and get it also at Big Bad Toy Store. So in many places it's going to be available. But when you come here and you look at Doctor Doom, $115, I think it's an excellent price. And I would say Hasbro, sometimes when they do these things, of course, it's not going to be like die-cast models, plastic. But still, it's so realistic. And being able to put it together and put the whole thing, you know, you can cosplay if you like. It's just good. I like the ideas and concepts that they come up with. Even the box is kind of neat. And even just for display, you want to display with the full-size mask, you know, you can do it and without breaking the bank. You're not paying like EFX prices or Hollywood collectibles and all those props that are super expensive. And it looks so realistic, and it does have, you know, they have done so many masks of all their characters in the Marvel Universe. Iron Man mask. It looks really good. How big it is, I don't know, because I do have a big head, so I don't know if it's gonna fit. But hey, it fits, it seems. And you can see the eye. It's cool. Again, it comes with a little stand with the Latverian logo, the Doctor Doom logo there. His coat of arms. Very nice. I think I like it. I think it's a great price. It will fit in a collection that you're a fan of. Doctor Doom right there. That's a coat of arms. It's really nice. So yeah, it's a very nice concept. Definitely, they have done a really nice job with it. Kudos to them for something really, really cool, really interesting. All right, so, ooh, that was good. Let me drink some water. Oopsie, I dropped the thing. Let me get it. Oh, forget it. I gotta move. In any case. All right, coming now to the end of the video. I want to say thank you very much for your support. As you can see, all these companies are doing really amazing stuff. There's always there's a variety of things. But one thing I want to point out that I realized that you get to see the big difference between companies. Some companies are getting ready for what is to come. But what I mean by that is that based on what's happening right now in the market, you know, a lot of things are happening in the market where we don't know what the future is going to be, how everything is going to go up with tariffs, how it's going to affect the market. I've seen videos, people talking about it extensively, collectors too, and they're pointing things that are important. People who are in the industry of selling, they actually they're selling, their business is selling, they're scared, they're afraid, but they're preparing for that. To take losses and things the way things are, and how that's going to pan out, only time can tell. But some companies are preparing for that, and by doing so, they're preparing by. And it seems that they were preparing for a while, because things don't happen just like that overnight. And they are doing things like what Pure Arts is doing. It's reducing some of the classic stuff they already have on some of those pieces I already had. They don't have to come up with new concepts. They don't have to come up with new things. They can reuse the files they already have and shrink them down and produce with different materials, cheaper materials, which PVC and in mass production. And sell for cheap, you know, for a lot less, and still make money. And they're reusing that concept. That is good. Companies are adapting. Like you can see Oniri Creations, but the way they're approaching after they came out of this and they trying to survive, of course, you know, they in their market, what they're doing, it's selling and reselling or making second and third batches of products that already went pre-order. Because of course already promised, money was already lost in some way, but they trying to rectify this, but also sell more in order to offset some of that extra cost of the things that they have to invest in order to recoup. And little by little applying for those licenses to bring them back and finalize those pre-orders that were done a time ago. It's a good way to, it's an interesting way to do it, but it's a way companies are preparing in order to kind of stay afloat. Not everything can be done, you know, right away. So they have to, you know, kind of time themselves. So they're working on that. You see Diamond Select Toys, Gentle Giant, even though they came out of the, you know, they're going through the process of bankruptcy, they're still producing stuff, but they have limited themselves at what they can sell, in the sense that they're producing at smaller scales. They do 1.7, 1.6, 1.8. They're doing smaller stuff. They keep up with the collections I already have, which is that they're even very successful over time, like the Milestones collection, like the Mini Boss collection, like the Premier collection, all these collections, and they keep with them and maintain the cost. The pieces that we just saw today, the most expensive was no more than $300. Everything, it's within that price range. I think we saw one close to maybe it was around $300. I think the most, it was a Darth Vader, I think, on the throne. It was around $300. I think everything is within that price range. They're not going crazy with prices, and they have limited themselves on doing that because they understand. So we see all that. We see companies like you saw Queen Studios with InArt. They're going into the 112 route. Companies are going into the 112 route. We saw Mondo. Things that they're doing that is up to come. They are pushing towards the 112. We're going to see more 112 figures. You know, you cannot sell something for $250, then shrink it down and sell it for $100, for $90, $75. And that's what they're doing. They are really thinking ahead. They're thinking, you know, because collectors are adaptable. You know, they will adapt to whatever it is. If you cannot buy something like, you know, I did that years ago when, you know, water scale was getting out of my price range, or it was getting too big for me to maintain, then I moved to 1.6, and I've been sticking with 1.6 because it's a very stable scale. But I've been even diving into 110 because I found that you know, 1.6 is getting also complicated for me to display. So it's just collectors, you know, producing something, companies doing certain things, reducing selling things for a better price, you know, doing more plastic stuff maybe, but at the end of the day, you know, it's how it looks. So I think Hiya Toys, for example, doing the full plastic, in this case, dioramas or models of the Enterprise, things like that, you know, companies are adapting. Some companies are not getting the hint, you know, some companies are still trying to sell things too high. Robosen, for example, selling too high. They still want to maintain. I think Robosen needs to limit what they sell, you know, and maybe just start making smaller robots for a better, more affordable price. They will sell probably more. You see Prime1 Studio really still trying to maintain the high quality stuff, selling things for $20,000. How many are they going to produce? How many pieces are they going to be able to produce at $20,000? You know, that's the point. You know, I think, yeah, as much as I love the concept, at the end of the day, can they deliver? Are there going to be enough willing people out there willing to pay $20,000? I'm sure some, and there are people out there, but not as many as, you know, we seem to think. Although sometimes you'll be surprised what people are able to pay. There's a lot of millionaires out there, but you know, things like that. I think some companies are definitely defining themselves. You know, options are out there. Jimei Palacework offering different options of the Shura statue where you can choose one or the other, and by breaking it down, you can make more money. Iron Studio is still stuck with the 110. I think they realize that that's where they can do. Although some pieces they definitely go into crazy, but other pieces are affordable. So we'll see. I think companies definitely are defining themselves in this year. This year is going to be a make or break moment for a lot of companies. Some will survive, some will die. Only time can tell. But my friends, I want to say thank you very much. It's been an interesting night. Appreciate your support. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, to be supportive of this channel. Thank you for those who took the time to comment. Thank you, Cypher. Thank you, Knight. Thank you, Agent Terry 7. Anyone else who comes in the future, thank you very much. Don't forget to leave a like or a comment. I try to go back and respond to those comments always. Sometimes I forget. I apologize. You know, I have a lot of stuff going on in my life, but we get in there. We get in there. So my friends, God bless you. Take care. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. And I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.